Hi everybody, and welcome back to StorytellerSpira's channel. Friday night Dungeons and Dragons 5e campaign. We are on to episode 4, following a very interesting start to our campaign where all of our characters initially got to meet each other and escape from some sort of secret little pocket dimension with an evil mad scientist drow. With that, though, I will turn it over to our lovely Dungeon Master Zabani, who will be running our game.
Howdy. So yeah, when last we met our group, they had just escaped from Lord Hilliam's pocket dimension, which was generated by a magical item that the Kenku TikTok took control of. They found out that he was researching some kind of sickness for his perpetually unconscious sister that they now have. They have Lord Hilliam tied up, blindfolded, I believed, at this point, again, next to a pile of all the stuff that was inside of the pocket dimension, because a lot of it was imported. I mean, that's about what's going on.
More or less.
I was about to kill that dude.
Oh yeah!
I'm currently
That's
napping in some rubble.
Yeah, Esther was also in the rubble. She saw Baleen going for it.
Esther?
You know who I mean. I'm sorry, Cove.
Yeah. So
TikTok is just wide-eyed staring at all of this stuff like, oh my god, it's my birthday. I cannot wait to pick through this.
I managed to skirt away fast enough that I still got hit by some of it, but I'm mostly okay.
I got hit by a lot of it. I have 2 hit points right now. And I'm mad at this asshole. So I'm gonna go fucking kill him.
Didn't I get hit by it too? Crap, I don't remember.
So I'm just watching dogs.
Did we find the Emperor? She got out, right? She got spat out with everything else?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, everything.
Yes.
Yeah, everything got
Everybody
spat out.
else got spat out.
And I am going over to Hilliam, dude, and I am fucking stabbing the shit out of him.
What would
Unless
1d20 plus 3? Is that my dodge roll?
Is your dexterity modifier? Yeah, I think that was the last thing I had you guys roll.
Yeah, that was an astounding fail, so I'm pretty sure I got hurt. Is that 13 the damage I took?
13 was the damage you took.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. My bad. I should have been more on point.
Alright, so does anyone try and stop Feline from stabbing the bound, gagged, unconscious drow?
No, sir.
No, I wasn't paying attention to it. I'm busy being old.
I'm not stabbing this you're just him. He's an asshole.
He kind of deserves it, too.
Yeah, he super deserves it.
Tell, what will you do?
Lest I remind you, we saved a dude who was being dissected alive on a table by this guy. I'm gonna
Also
kill
planned
this guy.
on doing so to us. Also
Yes.
had been doing this for an unknown amount of time, but it sounds lengthy.
Fair.
So honorable. Much kill while gagged.
Unless you
this
She
is-
can't walk away because she would have to sacrifice all her gold and her weapons.
For my cold, dead body.
Alright, well then I stab the ever-loving shit
All
out
right.
of him.
Stabby stab.
He's not exactly capable of avoiding it, so are you trying to kill him, or are you
Yes.
just trying to... Okay, you're trying
No,
to
I'm
kill
killing
him, then you kill him.
Yes. So she kind of like takes her greatsword, stabs him through the heart, like pulls it out, like kicks him down the pile of rubble. And then like starts.
Yeah, he should be towards the edge.
Okay, well, kicks him away. Whatever.
Yeah. It's very anticlimactic.
I don't care.
Yeah. No,
Not
just
looking
you
for
stab him.
exciting. I just wanted him to die. I kind of like curse at him a little bit, English, and then just kind of start limping towards everyone else.
Yeah, Elric just like leans up, hearing this squishing, stabbing noise, looks up, puts his head back down. There's nothing he can do about it right now. He goes and fishes one of his good berries out to eat.
Moss is going to go and grab the body of Lord Helium and make his way over to a fairly large tree and start digging a hole.
TikTok.
I believe I'm dead.
Oh, no, you are unconscious.
Okay, because I have 9 hit points and took 13 damage.
Yeah, so in order for you to die again, no, you're not, because we didn't update your character sheet. You have 14 hit points.
Yes, correct. Okay.
So you have
All
1
right.
hit point.
So I'm unconscious on the floor.
No, because I'm pretty sure, so 8 plus 5 is 13. What's your con mod?
Yes.
I believe it's a plus. Yeah, it should be a +1. So you have 15 total hit points, which means you're at 2 hit points. So no one is unconscious. Everyone survived and can walk away from this this pile of crap.
Cove will stand slowly and look to the others who are still on the floor. Probably start with Elric and see if he wants help up.
Yeah, he'll be like, oh, no, careful in the back. All right, I'm up.
She'll smile, try not to laugh. Is Moss on the ground?
Moss is currently digging a grave for Lord Helium.
All right, and then
Well, that was quick.
You have not technically removed the apron and the gloves from Lord Helium yet.
I thought we did that last session. Someone's like, take the gloves. And
Oh, okay. Then I'm mistaken. That's fine.
I could be wrong too. I do it now if we haven't.
Okay, cool. All right, so Renuel, the tiefling, and he seems fine. He steps out, kind of brushes himself off. Lita, the half imp thing, bursts out of the ground and immediately hugs Tail.
I give her a hug back.
I did not think you would do it. And she's crying a little bit.
You helped us, sweetie, of course.
No, I did not think you. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what do you all do?
at this point, Cove will probably go over to Thaleen and just give her a pat on the shoulder.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like it hurts.
Thanks for helping.
Tell me whenever Moss is done digging a fairly shallow grave, but a grave.
I don't think we would have been able to do this without you.
Thank you. Nila, sweetie, you all did very well as well. I could not do this without you.
Well, thank you. I wasn't looking for a compliment, but I appreciate it.
Well, I return one anyway. You're welcome.
Thank
She
you.
laughs.
TikTok's just like flopped over wherever he landed, just like not moving.
Yeah, no, Cove will go over and see if he even wants help up. She'll kind of offer a hand, but it's sort of, it's tentative.
TikTok makes a sound that's only like a crow that desperately wants to go back to bed.
She'll maybe back up and look for Tail and see if she wants to help.
Let's see. Oh, I guess I have mending. Did my clothing get like shredded up during the whole castle?
There are a couple of tears, a couple of little.
Yeah, I'll spend some time mending that.
Yeah. Okay.
Finding something to do. But he will go. Cove.
I'm sorry?
Do you have that book from earlier?
A spell book that I couldn't.
Yeah, the one we couldn't figure out who.
Yeah, I was going to see if maybe the tiefling, I don't know if he does spells, but if not, I would like to study it.
Yeah, can I take a look at it?
Sure. She'll hand it over.
Yeah, I might as well do something. He's gonna find a place to rest, kind of lean against, and he's gonna go look at that book. Do I have to roll anything?
No, you do not.
Okay.
I just have to find out where I put his... Because I'm dumb. There we go. Yeah. So as you leaf through, you are very familiar with this kind of notation. It's a little bit difficult, but that's usually how a spellbook goes. It's usually kind of half using official notation and half using whatever tricks an individual wizard's picked up. So it'll take you a little bit of time to decipher, but and I can send you the list, but the spellbook contains chromatic orb, detect magic, identify, mage armor, magic missile, shield, and unseen servant.
Yeah, go ahead and send that to me. That was a little too fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I guess it takes a couple nights probably to decipher through it all.
No, you kind of glance through and you recognize what each spell does using the official notation. You just don't know his quite methodologies for casting it.
Gotcha. I'm Trace. Is there any way to like just heal yourself as a person? And when I guess we take injuries, we're not really taking super lethal injuries when we lose HP. Is it kind of like getting banged up?
Yeah. Or like if you're wearing armor, it could be your armor's getting damaged.
Okay, so you're kind of getting exhausted, not necessarily like.
And that's the point of the hit dice on the short rest.
Yeah, it's a little bit vague. This is a game. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's kind of a blend of minor injuries and exhaustion and level of tiredness.
Okay.
I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
When it comes to something saying so and so can take blank D10 amount of such and such damage, does that damage heal differently?
No. So that matters in terms of resistances. So right now, Thaleen, when she is raging, has resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. So any of that damage she halves. There are some creatures that actually take double damage from certain kinds. So that's where that comes into play.
Gotcha.
And also it changes, the flavor and the description.
Gotcha.
There will be things that are immune to certain damage types. Like, a fire dragon isn't really too concerned about getting burned.
About this time, since you said I'd finished digging the grave, Moss will move the body into the grave and bury it up, and then do some druid craft to make some nice grow there.
All right.
And he'll move over to Tail. Do you know anything about drow last rites or?
So, in this setting, drow they are not a community like in Faerun. They are just the elves that come from the underside of the coin, which means it really kind of boils down to what religion this particular man followed.
Okay. Did he have any religious iconography then?
Otherwise, it would just be kind of generic last rites, burying.
Okay.
Unless he has like specific iconography representing some kind of religious deity, which he did not on Cursory Glance.
Okay, so then my question would have changed. Do you know any last rites? Sorry, that was just me not knowing something in the setting.
Yeah.
I don't have religion marked, but I'm a bard.
So he did not appear to be wearing any particular religious iconography, which means that he probably would be fine with kind of normal whatever, just any kind of generic, not epilogue, not epitaph, eulogy, like, kind of a normal burial rite for a non-religious person here in
It's
America.
pronounced you googly.
But Moss will say, for however misguided he was still trying to help someone he loved.
I agree. And so I will perform a very basic eulogy and kind of final rite passage.
Yeah, that
Aline kind of looks at him weird, like, this dude was an asshole. He tried to kill you. Whatever, it's no skin off my back. Like, kind of looks
Yeah.
back away.
Cove is, she'll listen, but she's not particularly... she doesn't feel sorry at all for this guy. Like, she gets that he was doing it for a good cause, but he's still a murderer. Like a serial killer.
May I try to roll for the general area we are, and try to figure out where on the underside of the coin we are? Possibly north, south, east, west, just a general idea.
that is an intelligence nature check.
I don't have
Survival?
That. I have
So,
intelligence.
You
I don't
can
have that
call
either.
it a wisdom nature, but this is specific wisdom, or this is specific knowledge of a unique feature of this particular area.
Could survival work?
Not really, because the only way to quickly identify where you are is because of a specific. Just no, it won't, and I'll explain why if you get it.
Intelligence check.
Yeah, except for Moss, who can use wisdom on any nature check because he's a druid. Why would he not be able to?
So add it to 12.
Elric, you got it. You definitely got it. So you kind of look around and you notice some of these trees, not all of them, but most of the trees in the area that you're in, they have what almost appear to be seams leading up the side, like horizontal or vertical seams leading up the side of the trees. And you think about it, and you realize that there is a type of tree that is only present in one forest on the underside of the coin, on the dusk side of the coin. And it only grows in the Forest of Splinters. The reason it's called the Forest of Splinters is because it is not that time of year right now, but during late winter and early spring, the tree will actually split its bark off and grow a new set of bark, and that's how it grows. But it gives, during late winter and early spring, it gives a very eerie, splintered, shattered look to the forest. And that is what these trees are. You recognize reading about them.
Okay, and the Forest of Splinters would be north and south. Where is it? It kind of.
It is on the central, or one of the central continents, southeast of the Shattered Spire, which is the wizard's tower that you would definitely know about as a wizard. It is the Fetus Island that we described. It is the southeast, the continent southeast of the Shattered Spire.
Okay.
It is on the far west side of that continent.
Okay.
However, it's a pretty big forest, so you're not really sure where in that forest you are.
That's fair. I recognize where we are.
You do.
Yeah, we're in the Forest of Splinters.
Pleasant.
It's the central continent of dusk. He kind of shifts uncomfortably. It's next to the tower.
Is something wrong?
Oh. Just knowing where I am is kind of I'm glad I read that.
Do you happen to know anything about the wildlife in the area?
Jim, do I know anything about the wildlife in the area?
The wildlife is not particularly, to your knowledge, you can't think of any particularly noteworthy creatures. There are unique deer-like creatures and dog-like creatures. They're not quite the same on any given continent due to the way that this coin formed. So they're not exactly the same from continent to continent, but your general herbivores, small carnivores.
Just your typical basic predators and
This is not a
wildlife.
particularly monster-ridden forest.
Nothing to note, at least not that I remember in my studies.
Alright.
You know, just normal stuff like owl bears will be here. Just kind of the stuff that's anywhere.
Right.
Well, hopefully we can make it someplace without coming into too much trouble.
Does the sun do the east-west thing, GM?
Yes, it does.
And it's day, right?
Yes, it is about noon, which you can see filtering through the leaves of the trees. It's
So we
it's
can
also
get
about
basic.
midsummer.
Okay. So we can get basic day.
Yes, yeah.
Or,
but it's because it's dusk side. It is mid-noon, but it is dark out. It's not the visibility here isn't great.
Okay.
Out of the pile, you'll probably see TikTok finally move a little. If anyone's paying any attention, you'll just hear like a small boy just ow, 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 ow.
I'm gonna move and try to help him out.
All right.
Perhaps we should rest before we move on. And sort through this, and he gestures towards the pile of rubble and swords and chairs and stuff.
It's mid-noon. That gives us a couple decent amount of hours. It's summer. So that's a good amount of hours of light. Guess we could stay here for the night.
Is the tree, the portal still there?
No, because you attuned to it, you never actually opened, or you never planted it again.
So I still have the seed.
You have the acorn, you are attuned to it now, and it does not count against attunement slots. So everybody can have 3 attuned items. This one doesn't. It counts as 0 attuned items. So
Good, because I'm going to be hard up for those.
no, you're not.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That was the joke.
Okay.
I'll probably just start poking through like rubble, just looking around it.
Okay.
See if I can spot anything that looks magical or interesting.
Okay. So are you going to cast detect magic? That's like 5 minutes for you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm probably gonna sit down.
So
and
you
concentrate
spend
on
5 minutes, concentrate on detect magic, and it will make this process a lot easier. So give me an intelligence investigation check. With advantage if anyone's helping.
What was
Yeah.
the check?
I'll help.
Intelligence investigation. He's digging through the pile.
Yeah, I'll do a little of that.
Cool.
Very old man like.
What does the little number next to the skills mean?
Okay, you should not have the number next to the skills. Those are unimportant and irrelevant.
Okay,
All
cool.
you care about is intelligence modifier and dot or not.
Dot and intelligence, so double it, right?
So no, not doubled. +2. Anything that has a dot gets a +2.
Sorry, yeah, 2 plus 2.
Yeah.
That's why
Oh yeah, it just happens to be doubled in this case. Yeah, so you don't even need the advantage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I helping?
No. It's Moss and Elric both kind of helped him out. So as you start shifting through the rubble, and it takes a while, you have to cast magic or detect magic a couple more times. But as you shift through the rubble, because you're not on a time scale, you find actually a variety of magic items just sticking out here. You find one of them is a pouch. A pouch that, when you open it up, contains a bunch of platinum in it. As you dig deeper, you find a small spoon that emits transmutation, which is changing stuff magic. You find a teapot that looks to be made out of hammered copper. You find over the course of this half an hour to an hour, you find a series of 3 identical bells that, with your good investigation check, you also find a bandolier that seems to hold all 3 of them, or not a bandolier, like a stand that holds all 3 of them.
I will put them on the stand.
It does nothing.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. It's like a little leather stand that you can like clip it closed and hold them all in a single item. But they were actually fairly far apart from each other, but the stand does have 3 slots and you found 3 bells.
I'll just kind of set all the stuff to the side and look over as everyone's as we finish off looking through the pile, look over to the rest of the group and in, some older gentleman's voice, just magic. Gesturing to the items so everyone can look at them.
And also you still see the gloves and the apron that Hilliam was wearing.
I think someone's holding on to those right now.
Yeah, but you still see them.
I realize I'm on push to talk. So over the course of searching the pile of rubble with Elric and TikTok, Moss would ask TikTok "Who are you?" Stuff like that.
I forgot one thing. You also, as you're digging through, you find what appeared to be a cabinet full of potions of healing, most of which are smashed. But you managed to find 4 potions that managed to survive the wave of furniture and debris.
I'll also put those aside with the magic items.
There's a bunch of potion on the ground seeping into the dirt, but it would be very difficult to salvage that.
So it was a purse full of plat, 3 bells with a leather holder, potions, 4 healing potions.
A teapot and a spoon.
Also, the pouch containing the platinum is magical. So, in case that was not clear.
Okay. Are all these rare can I tell? Are these powerful?
That
or all
would
kind of weak?
That would involve an identify, which won't take too long for you. You could do that over a short rest. Yeah, you could do that over a short rest, but you can't, on a cursory glance, tell, because there are sometimes very powerful things that come in small packages.
Yeah, he'll just gather everyone around. He's magic. Wondering if anyone's going to say anything, do anything.
So Moss will lay down the gloves and the apron, correct? Ben?
Yes, gloves and apron.
He'll lay them out next to all the magic items and kind of look at TikTok. And who are you?
He makes the TikTok sound of a grandfather's clock.
Moss nods his head. I am Moss.
But afterwards he'll follow with the actual words TikTok in Tails' voice.
Probably, with consternation. TikTok.
Yeah, probably TikTok.
I love that. That's the one that you printed up.
All right.
What do you think the bells do?
One way to find out. Moss will grab one and ring it.
They are in the pouch. Do you fight him?
They were in the stand.
They are the little stand that are latched in. So, do you fight him, TikTok?
I don't know. TikTok, you could tell his general air is what do you guys want to do with all this?
All right. So you snap one out and you ring the bell, and it has a high or a very clear, high-pitched ring, and a very generic-looking human in butler's clothes appears, looks kind of ethereal, you can see through him, and he looks at you expectantly.
Hello?
I had a bit of a question real quick,
Yes.
and it's an unusual one.
Okay.
Can Cove spit on the gloves?
Yes, you can. I'll get to that in a second.
Boss, very surprised. Hello? Who are you?
He kind of stares at you.
Moss looks at TikTok like,
You
Ask-
do
Ask it to
kind
do
of-
something.
kind of in the back of your mind, you get the sense that you can dismiss it, but that's like you're holding the slightest amount of concentration, not concentration, but you're holding a little bit in the back of your head. You can dismiss it, but there are obviously other things that it can do.
Ask it to do something.
can you bring us water?
He will bow to you deeply and kind of wander off into the forest.
Never to be seen again.
Quite possibly.
Maybe should have said clean water.
Brings us some elemental named water. Some raging elemental is like, here.
If we wait a few hours, I can fix that.
Yes,
So-
so Cove, you spit on one of these gloves and it sits there for a second and dissipates very quickly, leaving the white, bright gloves that they were before.
Huh.
Yep, that's it.
Interesting little servitude thing. I wonder how many times we can do that.
Are each of these bells identical?
Yes, they are identical.
Bring the other two, same thing?
Yes.
TikTok would definitely resist a little bit.
Yeah, same with
maybe
him.
don't waste all the magic at once.
Fair enough. Moss will hand you back the current bell.
You just set it back in the little.
Oh, it's on the ground. I thought you were holding it.
I think I was standing by it, putting them in there, but yeah, it's no big deal.
Now, TikTok.
He'll look at you expectantly.
Now that you have that acorn, do you think we could store that stuff in there?
Since I'm attuned to it, would I know how often I can open it, or is this all guessing game?
You can plant it. It will take a minute to grow. You can pluck it, and it will disappear. This is always yes. Gabe.
Does it have any restrictions on where you plant it?
You have to be able to push it in the ground. That's really all it is.
okay.
You cannot push it through solid stone unless you have the ability to push a seed through solid stone. And though it is indestructible, or borderline, you might be able to destroy it, but you don't often know how. If you had an elephant stomp on it in stone, it might still grow the tree.
Useful.
How can
Especially
we
with
abuse
elements
that?
of it.
Yeah, in just a common tongue, but broken between a few different people, it'll be TikTok will just respond with, "Sure, but let me check this out first." Would there be a word for identify?
Yes, that is the name of the spell. Other people
is that
might,
common though?
yeah, relatively.
At least among
it's, again,
magic,
so
people who trade in magic items.
yeah, definitely common among people who trade in magic items.
So yeah, I'll just be I can identify if we rest.
Let's do that then.
Then store.
So then anyone who
Depending
has
on
not
useful
spent
they are.
anyone who has not spent hit dice, and I'll remind Hope of this in a minute, can roll hit dice one at a time and gain hit points equal to hit dice plus con mod, and also Spira provides an additional d6.
Do we get that even if that we used it?
Oh, okay. So at second level, you have 2 of those per day. As you level up, you will get more.
Okay.
If you
Pretty
have,
sure I
if you're
used
out,
2 of them.
if you're out, sucks to suck.
I think it's
Do I not get to do that since I'm identifying?
No, that's part of the short rest. So you know, and by that I mean no, you do not get to do it. you can use it all you want.
I
Because
know what my hit dice is.
When do we get them
your
back?
hit dice is a D8 as an artificer
When do we get them back? Long rest, short rest?
on a long rest.
Gotcha.
Which we kind of need because I'm out of spell slots and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get them all back or just one?
You get them all. There are variant rules that say you get half. Meh.
So 1d8 plus your Constitution
Plus
modifier?
Constitution modifier, and for the first one that you roll, you get another D6 because Tail provides a more relaxing atmosphere with whatever it is that she does. You know, be it song or just oration or whatever.
Oh, she gave us the 2d6?
She gets one additional D6
Okay.
each time you use hit dice. So you can't, or per short rest. So you can't like double stack it. It's one per short
Okay.
rest.
So I still have a d6 because I rolled
No,
two
okay.
d6.
Oh yeah,
Last time.
yes. So you rolled your D6 for being a wizard and got one from Spira, or from Tail. Then you have your second as a wizard.
Gotcha. And 1d6 plus con?
Yep. All right. So TikTok.
Okay.
As you look through and sort through these magic items, you find out that the pouch is a pouch of false currency. And what it does is if you place gold into, or gold or currency of any kind into it, it glows faintly if the gold is transmuted from a different kind of gold, if it's illusionary, if you put money that isn't real money into the pouch, it shows it, and so you don't get screwed over. And that's very specifically what it's for, is for lots of merchants have these. You find the spoon is a stirring spoon of cold. All it does is you stir a cup of a liquid with it, and it will make the liquid cold. The bigger the cup, the less cold it will become. The gloves and apron, two separate magic items. The gloves are one, the apron is another. They are the gloves and the apron of sterility. They keep things sterile that touch them. So they're very good for surgical or other such practices. They're also magical gloves and aprons, so they are much more resistant to damage than average gloves or an apron. The teapot is basically an electric teapot. It boils water at will. And the bells are, each one is a bell of the servant. It takes, you can, as an action, ring it, and it casts Unseen Servant, which, except it's seen in this case. Summons this butler. Each bell has 3 hours worth of work per day that it can do before it loses its magic for the day.
Yeah, so as everyone's like taking their short rest and I'm digging through the stuff and kind of like learning about it, I'll kind of like call a little bit and motion everyone over. I'll hold up the pouch and I'll just not speaking is difficult. He'll like shake it slightly and in like in a shrill older woman's voice is this real gold? And he'll fake putting currency in it, like money in it. Just set it to the side. He'll point to the spoon and just cold in like a kid's voice. Then the copper teapot, hot. Same kid's voice. Yeah. And then he'll just go through the items same kind of way.
Yeah.
The bells, he'll just say butler and like mock ringing them. And we will point to like for that die, does that mean you get healed for that amount?
I'm sorry?
Those die we rolled?
Yes. The hit dice are you heal for that amount. The first time you roll it, you get.
Okay. So I'm no longer dying.
Cool.
Alright, well I was gonna say that was gonna depend on if you wanted to ask for the potions. No, just look at the gloves and apron and just clean.
Is there money in this pouch?
Yes, there is. And as
Yes.
you count it out, you find 183 gold, mostly consisting of platinum.
This is platinum, but gold.
Yeah, 183 gold, which is to say 18 platinum and 3 gold.
In response to TikTok's "Is this gold?" description.
Oh, he'll nod, like, yeah. Well, yeah, platinum and gold, but yeah.
I'm assuming we understand what he
That's-
goes at
that's-
for a second.
That's a good amount of money. Like that is, if you find more general commoners like Renwell, day laborers and simple people, that's years of savings. However, as adventurers or possibly budding adventurers, that's a little bit less for you guys. It's still a lot of money until you get to nobility, and very powerful adventurers have a lot more than that.
And we still have a couple NPCs with us, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you have Haran, the Green Dragonborn. You have Lida. You have Dominic, the young storm sorcerer, and you have Renuel, the bone tiefling day laborer.
And then we have the sister.
And yes, the unconscious sister, whose name is Hestel.
I'm gonna look over this sister.
She continues to be unconscious.
Okay. I mean, like, I don't specifically have medicine. Is there anything else I can check for? I know she's sick.
Okay, so you can, as a bard, as a second level bard, you have Jack of all trades. You have a plus half your proficiency modifier to anything you don't add your proficiency modifier to. So there's always a decent chance that you read a story once about this sort of thing. So
Okay.
yeah, you can go ahead and make an intelligence medicine check if you would like. So intelligence +1 because you don't have a dot in medicine.
I have +1 for intelligence, so I don't add
Okay,
those.
so
together.
your intelligence modifier, and because you are a bard and have Jack of all trades.
Okay, you
you
said
get
just +1 and I got confused.
Yeah.
18.
It's hard to tell. She's a little bit feverish. Her vitals, as well as you can tell, seem to be relatively stable, but nothing you can do seems to be waking her up. You do remember that the wizard kind of read through a book and said that she had the tiefling-only disease that has left her unconscious for a long time. It didn't really specify how long.
I'm gonna glance silently in the direction of Thaleen, sigh a little bit, and then continue just kind of doting over the poor unconscious woman.
So Lita's still hanging out around?
Just
No. She doesn't say it out loud, but Tail's kind of like, we could have maybe asked the guy what he figured out.
You do have... So, in this pile of stuff, there are a bunch of books, most of which are directly or indirectly connected to this disease or similar medical processes, and you do have Hilliam's journal that
Okay.
details kind of his process, if not the full thing.
I will certainly gather those up and put them in my bag then.
Okay. There's numerous bookshelves worth.
I certainly take his journal.
Yeah. That you guys already have.
Can I spend a little time going through his journal and at least look at like maybe some of the books, and I'm gonna like kind of cross-reference and maybe leave the ones that he does mention, because if he's already gone over them and it didn't help, probably not useful.
Well, So what this is like at a doctor or medical researcher's office, you're going to have books on biochemistry.
Yeah.
You're going to have books on the specific body part that you're looking at. You're going to have, and they're all reference books that may or may not be helpful at any given moment. So all of this is directly connected to this disease in different ways.
All right. I absolutely make sure I take the journal.
Yeah.
Probably leave everything else, because if anything, I can go to the Bard's College and maybe ask around.
When I see her digging around the books, trying to like decide like which one to put down and like kind of like measuring them all, I'll probably plant the seed when I see her start doing that.
My mistake. There's one more magic item that I did not mention.
Okay.
I apologize. It is one of the books in here. It was a little bit separated from the rest of the books, that as you identify, you find out that it rewrites itself to include information from some master book. So it's effectively an arcane newsletter. He can open up the book, and if it's changed, there's a little gem that will glow dimly that says, new information. And it's got a lot of really technical books on, like transfigures, fatigue, or abjural leakage. Like it's very, very technical information, and it receives the information from a master book somewhere you don't necessarily know where.
When I identify that one, and I see her digging through the other books, like, looking for stuff, I'll kind of like walk over there and nudge underneath like her chin, because she's like probably crouched down looking through books on the ground. Kind of like nudge it underneath into Tail's hands.
What's this? And I'll take a look at it. Good
Yeah.
job.
As you look through, it has several articles. One is about how transfigurers tend to gain more brittle bones as they go on for some reason. About the peeling off of abjuration magic to move it to a separate location. It's very technical and doesn't seem to have a single cohesive message to it. They're very disparate.
Does it seem related to? Well, I wouldn't know. TikTok would ask in some broken kind of way, like if this is related to what you're looking for, or it's not related at all.
The most medical article in this is about transfiguration casters beginning to lose elasticity to their bones. That seems to be a common problem, you guess, from what you read, and this particular wizard believes that he has maybe an idea on why that happens, which doesn't really seem to correlate to this tiefling's disorder.
So more of a magical research journal.
Yeah, it's that's exactly what it is. It's a weekly research journal that has new articles, and if in a real doctor you'd have lines of magazines, but this is just a single item that posts whatever the most recent articles are.
So as someone who's like in the Artificers Guild, does this have the more bent of like Ivory Tower, like actual mages, scholars, or is this like this is our area?
The information in this is definitely either Quintarium or Shattered Spire. It's definitely from mages, wizards. However, this is the kind of thing. This item is the kind of thing that an artificer would make, but the content was specifically for the wizards.
TikTok.
I'd probably pull it back as Tail sees that it's not related, and hand it over to our wizard friend to let him look at it.
What's this?
Yeah, it is a book.
Oh, he'll just open it in front of you. No, he actually made that motion.
Open. Oh, he actually opens it.
Yeah, for you to look into it. No, he's like handing it off to you. He's like, here, take it.
Yeah.
Look.
Has my character recognized this before?
Give me an intelligence, like history, or intelligence arcana makes sense.
I don't think I have that yet.
You
No, I do have
should.
Yeah, I have it.
You're a wizard.
Yeah, I'm sorry, wrong game.
Yeah.
I crit.
Yeah. You recognize this is in magical research communities, this is a relatively common thing that they have probably stores and stores of these in libraries that they sell
What
to magical research. Huh?
What are they called?
It's a very good question.
And from my readings of it, can I determine what college it's from?
It's not from. Yes, with the natural 20. This seems like it is more connected to the Quintarium, which is the big one on Dawn's side, because some of the methods are less dramatic and hardcore. The Shattered Spire tends to have more violent, but maybe a little bit more effective methods. Shattered Spire does not tend to shy away from experimentation on people. Their whole goal is learning above anything else.
Has our tree grown up yet?
Oh yes, it has.
While I'm looking through this journal, TikTok. I think, see if you agree with me here. I think we use the servants to find some food in the rubble over here, and another one to find some wood. We have them set up the camp for tonight. Keep maybe the teapot and spoon out just for nicety. Put the rest away. Healing potions probably keep them out, divvy out in case we get into trouble.
It is about this time that the butler will bring what appears to be a log full of stagnant, like a little slice of wood that's got some stagnant, nasty, very woody water. He hands it to you and then disappears.
Thank you.
And that's about an hour and 15 minutes of that one.
Yeah, maybe want to be a little more clear next time.
Can Cove set up to, I don't know, does it look like it is even in the realm of being able to be purified?
I will be able to do that tomorrow.
No, like
if we wait.
I am asking GM.
Not really. Not to mention there's really not enough for it to even be worth trying. Like, you could, but it's like trying to purify a thimble full of water. It's not worth the effort it would take to do it.
Moss just kind of drops it.
TikTok will poke Tail on the shoulder and point over to the portal, the tree, and pick up like one of the books and motion over to the tree. Like, do you want to move any of these over there?
Cove is going to go over to Thaleen.
I don't think the tail heard that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Are you any good at finding water? Because I thought it would be better not to do this alone.
I get tried.
When you went through the mansion the first time, there were barrels of water.
Oh, so like they're just around somewhere now?
Yeah, you just have to dig around and find them, and TikTok can kind of direct you where a couple of them are busted and some of them were like half spilled, but he can direct you where the water is. That's not a concern.
No, in that case, she will go over to TikTok. Would you happen to know where any of the water barrels from the last resident would be?
He'll just kind of like start hopping in a very bird-type fashion up around some of the rubble and like tapping on wood that looks like rubbish, but there's barrels under it.
Yeah, then she'll start going at it, and then after a moment, look over to Thaleen. Could you give me a hand over here?
Thaleen will kind of walk over there and
GM,
Yes.
I'm going to grab one of the bells and use that servant to find food that it's broken out, but it's still food.
Yeah.
Just to collect it, just to have someone else doing it.
All right.
If TikTok doesn't,
Yeah.
You get the feeling that TikTok is not being possessive of this set of items.
Yeah,
It was the acorn he was very possessive about. This set of items he doesn't seem to care too much. Although he did watch very closely as you counted through the bag. But then you set it back down and you just kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
Tail.
Yeah, regarding the books again. Yeah, if they're just like medical journals and it doesn't look like anything seems like super ancient, rare, never gonna see it again.
No, it was all very specifically geared towards solving this disorder.
Okay. I'll shake my head at TikTok then and be like, no, I think the journal, and I'll wave that. Should do fine.
Depends how much storage we have. Those actually could sell for a bit.
Would you say it was like a closet?
Well, you haven't really been in yet, but yeah.
I'll poke my head in.
Approximately, yeah. So, you poke your head inside, and it is what appears to be a wooden closet that you can kind of peek your head around, and there's just fog around it. And it does, on the back wall of this, it does have a plaque that says, Milu, that you may see the sun even in the depths of the abyss, yours, Goldie.
Do you have that written? You can send me that?
I can.
Thank you. TikTok would probably dig around looking for a pen on him. He usually carries writing instruments, so just some scrap of something to write that down on. And then he'll pull his head back out and he'll like make a hand gesture size of like how big this closet is.
So it's enough to probably put some water barrels and food barrels in there.
Yeah, maybe like 2 barrels if you stack them on top of each other. It's not very big right now.
Oh, so that's it. Like you get 2 barrels, and that you're pretty much.
Yeah, there'd be room to like stuff things in the sides and around the corners. But right now it's like an apartment closet in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's not very big right now, but TikTok knows that it will grow the longer he's attuned to it.
Sounds like we should only put some food and water in there. Don't know how far we are from civilization.
He'll tilt his head when you say food and water, and he'll just like pat his actual bag. And then he'll look over towards like heavier things that might be valuable that you don't want to carry around.
It's a thought. Depends how far we need to go. How far from civilization would we be about?
The Forest of Splinters is a very large forest.
So
you haven't really explored too far.
Yeah, but it could be like weeks before civilization.
It could, if you pick the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, we could.
If you pick the right direction, you could be an hour or 2 out. Who knows?
Sort of in like in like a more gruff voice. TikTok will just look around, look at all the wood and stuff, and just go, camp! Like say, why even bother venturing tonight? Let's actually camp, continue digging through stuff.
I think, everyone agreed to that, I believe, earlier.
Seems like a good idea.
All right. So is that what y'all are doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Burning out our day's use of the butlers, though, to gather up food and water from their pile.
What's the book?
Fine. You get plenty of food and water for the night.
And what's the book called? Or called the Book of Rewriting? Book of 20.
It's a Tome of Receiving.
Tome of Receiving. So my character will relay that.
And its partner book is called A Tome of Sending.
I believe this is a Tome of Receiving, and he's going to talk to this to probably Tail and TikTok and anyone else who's actually interested, but at least Tail and TikTok.
TikTok will be listening, quite interested in like any information you give about the item. He's very curiously.
I'm the bard, so I listen to everything.
This is actually from the Quatarium. We should probably let what's his name? The Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn? Haran.
I'm sorry, what is Elric referring to right now?
Tome of Receiving, the book that's auto rewriting itself with little snippets.
All right.
Well, like full scholarly articles.
Right. Nope. If it has not been done, or if it has not happened already, Cove will ask for the spell book that she found back. It's not the same one, right?
No, not the same one. Yeah, I'll talk to you on that one. But the book of Quatarian, book of Receiving, Tome of Receiving, it's definitely Quatarian writers based on what I'm seeing. It's definitely their style of work. And he says that he maybe even get the Dragonborn's attention.
Yeah. If as he hears that, he'll kind of wonder, oh, let me see that.
Yep. Hand it over.
He will flip through it and, less talk about the content of the book and more talk shit about the people who wrote the individual articles.
Yep, that's what I was hoping. Honestly. I was really hoping that.
He wouldn't know abjuration magic if it bit him in the ass.
Actually, GM, is there, so I know that you can transfer these pages using, I don't know, it's 50 gold, whatever.
Yes, it's 50 gold and 2 hours of work for each spell level that it is.
Is there enough of that material just around because of Haran?
Haran has...
Or not Haran, Helium.
Helium?
Because all the stuff. Did we
give me an intelligence investigation?
I did earlier.
This is looking for something specific.
Damn it.
And this is a lot smaller stuff. Was that 20, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, you managed to find, I'll call it 100 gold worth of fancy, unique inks that are specific for this kind of copying.
So
there's a lot more. Yeah, there's two spells worth. There's a lot more, but a lot of it got smashed in the tidal wave.
I start peering over their shoulders a bit greedily, staring at the ink.
Oh, he's collecting it. And it's like, yes.
As they're all doing that, is there any beer or mead stuff of that manner?
Yeah. This was a fully stocked manor.
He'll grab some and he'll grab the cold spoon and pour some mead into a smaller cup, stir it with the cold spoon for a bit, and hand it over to Thaleen. Just walk up to looking up at her from way underneath her, holding it up.
She'll take it. Hey, what is this?
He'll pull out his own cup with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He
A
wants to
cheers.
pour it.
No, he wants to cheers with you because he gave you one that's very cold.
she'll cheer with him, sure. Oh, yes.
It's not that. It's actually really nice.
So Tail is just over.
And he'll go
Yeah.
around the camp giving everyone a small glass of cold.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Okay.
No, I am appearing pretty interested.
Do
Yeah.
bards actually use that? Do they actually use the pages?
I mean, you don't know, and it's fancy ink for she sees fancy ink, and you're not sure if bards use it.
Is bards a normal term? Is that a normal?
Yes. Yeah, they have bard colleges up in Whitewater, I think is where it was called.
White Tide?
White Reef.
White Reef, yeah. I knew I'd use something with the water.
Curiously asking Tail, do bards use spelling?
I haven't myself exactly, but I've always found it very interesting. We at the college we have a very special ink of our own that we create.
Oh, I believe this is the wizard's version of it. I don't know if it's useful to you, but I was going to copy some pages from the book that I was given.
anything that's left over, I'd like to maybe throw in the closet. They're small vials, shouldn't take up too much room.
So the amount that he found will cover just about 2 pages.
Oh, okay.
There are a couple of there's one more vial that's kind of half spilled left. That's maybe 10, 15 gold worth of the ink. It's not that much. This is very expensive ink.
He'll that vial he'll hand over to Tail.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it. I kind of want to just write with it.
That's fine.
What kind of food did the servants collect? Just a little bit of everything?
Yeah, it's very decent collection. Lots of nice quality, if somewhat damaged foods. So exotic fruits that you may have never seen before, very nice and tender meats.
Anyone know how to cook?
Mm-hmm.
I do as well.
We should probably eat something.
Okay. Me, let's cook. She points to Cove.
What do we got? What do we got? GM, DM, God.
You find there's kind of a mix of everything. There's a couple. There's steak. There's a chicken that has been kept properly. A lot of this is or some of it rather is salted. A lot of it is stuff that would usually be kept cold, but is warming up now. He did have runic magics in the walls down in the food cellar that kept stuff cold. So a lot of that's going bad, but kind of really this is a lot of just whatever you need right now.
Okay.
Though not
tonight.
much. Yeah. Though not much of any one thing.
I had
because he was eating for one.
Additional question.
Yes.
Is there a difference in is there a difference between dawn side and dusk side version of these things?
Of the foods?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that these continents formed, there are a steak is different on every continent, not just dawn and dusk side. So it's less dawn and dusk side and more from this continent or from that continent, because each animal developed a little bit differently, because it's less divergent evolution and more magic.
I sort of decided that she had a thing for dusk side eggs, so if she finds any, she will be using them.
Cool. Yeah, there will definitely be eggs.
What do the dusk side eggs look like?
You should also use the gloves and the apron while you cook.
Are you asking me, or are you asking GM? Because I don't...
Either.
Depends on the bird.
What do these ones look like then, Ben?
You managed to find some, They're a deep, wooden brown shell. Much darker brown than the
So wait, what you're saying is they're mahogany?
Mahogany?
Mahogany!
Fired, rocks fall, moss dies.
Alright, time to build a bard. Be as punny as I can.
Thaleen, when she is, I guess we just need to build a fire and start kind of cooking the root. Is surprisingly very clean about it, make sure her hands are clean, and then is actually fairly decent at cooking, especially over a fire. This is what she does.
So you
Hey, you know who else does this? Cove.
Yeah, so you build a nice fire. It doesn't take too much work with the group that's going on here. You cook a nice meal of a really rich variety of foods, and these are some really rich foods. A lot of you are not used to food of this quality. The food to work with it's a dream to work with. It doesn't fight you. It's nice, it's tender, it's all fresh. And yeah, you have a probably the nicest meal, especially considering the circumstances that most of you have ever had.
Is Lita eating?
So before long, and this is before the fire, I just kind of lost track. She will kind of pull Tail off to the side.
Okay.
Oh,
I gotta check on my little girl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this was just, it slipped my mind.
There you
I very much appreciate what you have done. And I think that I will now go because I have spent much too long in this place and would like to return home.
I completely understand that, Lita. Where will you be returning to?
I don't think we ever named the forest outside of Demuria, the mushroom forest.
It's called the Mushroom Forest.
Hold on. Let me double check something real quick because I might have.
Actually, yeah.
It's the Great Mushroom Forest.
Yeah, no, I think I gave it a name. It's just in my other account. It's in that Excel sheet. I was working on.
Hydnella Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hydnella Forest. I must return to the mushrooms of Hydnella.
That's where I figured you were from. Well, if I'm ever in the area, I'll try and find you, maybe?
He smiles very happily. Oh, I would very much enjoy that. I will watch for you.
Alright. Well, take care of yourself.
You as well.
Oh,
And she
my
will
buddy.
she will fade into the ground and disappear.
As you guys are cooking dinner, though, I guess after that happens, which TikTok will be staring at that hole in the ground for a little bit. But as everyone's cooking dinner and she's off chatting, you'll hear like a very soft whistly, but still sort of tune of a hurdy-gurdy playing, which Tail would immediately recognize as one of hers. As TikTok's kind of off, like chittering to himself, still picking through the debris, looking for anything interesting. Just poking around now for fun at this point.
I could do that myself, you know.
You'll do it slightly screechier. Like someone's screwing it up.
Ow, come on, that's not how it goes.
I mean,
Molly just left. Okay.
it's entirely possible that was you when you were running rough on strings.
I was actually just about to say this. I was drunk and I needed new strings.
He'll go back to the more sort of he'll actually go back to like something he heard you playing with someone else who had a different instrument. I don't know. What's another popular?
A liar.
Bagpipes.
I was gonna say that or like a simple drum. For percussion.
Yeah. Sure. He'll copy whatever noise goes with one of your songs, sort of taunting you into playing while they cook.
Yeah, she would very much appreciate you to you make a percussion noise for her. So as you get that started, I'll find myself a seat by the being built or built fire, and actually take out my hurdy-gurdy and start playing for everyone.
That lady will solidly enjoy that. She's never seen a hurdy-gurdy before. She's actually kind of fascinated. She's just in the middle of cooking.
Yep, so as soon as Cove even gets a chance between prep or if she's waiting, she is going to absolutely look over because it's a very neat looking thing that she's doing.
Give me a charisma performance check.
Yeah.
We'll see. You'll probably do well.
Alec will find himself next to the fire, kind of reading through the book.
Nope.
Yes.
It's not the worst. You are really good at this. This is your instrument.
Done cooking.
The problem is with the with what's happened recently, it's a little bit out of tune, so it takes you a little bit, and it's good. It's not your best work.
I'm quietly kind of cursing under my breath and slightly make tiny adjustments as I continue playing.
Moss will approach Thaleen. Could you add this to the meal? And he'll hand you some willow bark. It's it'll help with soreness and pain for everyone here.
Do I have to like boil it or something?
It's a little bit bitter. Just scrape at it a little bit.
Hey,
Thank you.
All right. So does. Oh, go ahead.
Let's see. When Cove has a minute, she's done cooking. Alec will call her over, or show her over. Well, can't call her over.
Yeah, if you call her over, she'll come over with a plate for herself and a plate for you. There are a lot of eggs on both.
He'll say thanks in Elvish. I don't know what that is. Waiting for Elvish, tell me.
Yeah.
it is. Well, there's two kinds.
The easy one.
You say
you
thanks.
are generous, so it's le file.
The file.
She will say, "Hey, Elvish, what's you're welcome."
Yeah.
in Elvish."
You say you're
It's
welcome in
Lafayette.
Elvish.
No, what's your welcome?
I know, it's probably the both. It's like
You say you're welcome in Elvish.
What?
You say you're welcome in Elvish.
That sounds super rude, sarcastic.
No, it's just like kind of don't need to look up Elvish phrases every time someone speaks in Elvish.
That is absolutely
might
fair.
slow things down.
She will say you're welcome in Elvish.
Le naflam.
See.
After a few minutes, she will say, "Le
Shut
naflam."
up.
So, he'll start going through the book and showing your character the book. Because you expressed interest, but you're not a spellcaster, if I remember correctly, right?
Wrong button. She
Not an arcane spellcaster.
You're not
meta-wise.
You're not
meta-wise-
okay. So you're not entirely sure what she is.
She's
does
using
not.
a book, right?
She's not using. She's not using a spell focus or a holy symbol, and you've never seen that before. Those are typically the two things, and she's not using either. But she seems to be causing spell-like effects.
Okay.
She will pull out her own notebook, and are you just reading it to her? Are you explaining it?
He's actually explaining it.
Yeah, then she'll.
He's explaining each spell on here. And then he has his own book that he has open right next to it, ready to transcribe, and he has some ink out. He's like, so I looked through this book. I was going to transcribe some of it to my own. Some of the ink I found. What do you think would help beneficial the most? I'll send you the list just so that you have that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and he'll describe to you what each of these are because this is like you kind of get some of it, but a lot of this is a different direction than you've gone.
Yeah.
There, sent to you.
Like a biologist and a chemist discussing things. There will be overlapping concepts, but a lot of it's going to be I don't know what that means.
Okay.
So he's like, I know the second and third one, but I think would actually help out the most would be the last two. What do you think?
I think the second to last looks interesting as well as the one before, although, hey, what do those do?
Okay, so, and I changed it a little bit because reasons. Expeditious Retreat, he will explain to you for about 10 minutes, let him run a lot faster. And I think you can only cast that on yourself.
Oh, did they change that?
Yeah, Expeditious Retreat allows you to use your bonus action to dash.
Oh, wow.
And I'm pretty sure it's a self spell, so you can cast it on you, and that's it. Comprehend language is exactly what it is. It is a ritual spell, so you can cast it without using a spell slot. And without even preparing it, you can just read it out of your spell book. And it gives you the ability to understand any language that is not like magically encoded.
What is chromatic orb?
He will explain to you that what it does is it is a ball of magical energy that he can infuse with a wide variety of different elements and throw it at an enemy or a surface or something. So he can make a ball of acid or a ball of lightning or a ball of fire.
You make a ball of light to light a room or something?
No. Light is not one of them. So it's the elements are acid, thunder, lightning, fire, cold.
Yep, and he'll explain that burning hands actually is most beneficial to him in actual combat, just from how he's going to be much closer to enemies and that he can hit a array of them in front of him.
Well, I think that would probably be very beneficial. Perhaps you were caught off guard during the last encounter that we've had, so please don't take any offense, but I mean, anything that could give you an edge would be beneficial to all of us, I think.
I'd say the fourth and the last one would probably be the most beneficial. But the the second to last can be very beneficial as well.
All right.
Going very fast can be very ideal to getting help.
Absolutely.
Yes, TikTok.
Can I know we already did like a cursory glance, but can TikTok, as like everyone's doing other things, he's whistling, can I do another scan over all of this looking for raw steel, gemstones, or crystals? Oh, well, all three.
With the roll you got earlier, you're fairly certain that there's none of that. It's entirely likely that Helium kept most of his finances in a bank, and this pouch was what he had to get to and from civilization.
Okay, just but like no ornate goblets that had stuff I might pull off of, that kind of thing.
No, a lot of the stuff, while expensive and very nice, was not gaudy or gauche.
I know, it was all wood themed.
Yeah.
I figured I'd try. So as everyone's talking, though, you will hear like small, like every once in a while, the percussion line that TikTok is giving will like fade out and then come back and then fade out again. If you look over, you'll see him popping his head in and out of the portal slowly and like back and like looking around the tree.
Aline will kind of wander over to him and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry for pushing you."
Reach up.
Like shake his fucking wing.
He does have fingers.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he does. Okay.
I was really hoping that you were gonna extend the basically bird version of a thumb, but you have actual hands. So you dashed my dreams.
Sorry. I mean, he has feathered, like wing feathers off his arm, but he has a hand.
No, that makes more sense to use.
But while shaking your hand, he will like tilt his head back into the portal, keep shaking your hand, pull his head back out and look at it. He's clearly amused by whatever's going on.
So
Aline is curious. She'll want to try.
So in the meanwhile, Helium is dead. Haran is he is sitting quietly, kind of muttering to himself. Renuel is also sitting quietly, he just kind of staring off. And Dominic and Skull are they're sitting with each other. Dominic, if you watch, will occasionally like go and poke at Skull and zap him, just ever so slightly, and Skull will like he doesn't act like it's a problem. It's what you use to recharge him. So it's almost like petting him in a different way. And so Dominic is getting great enjoyment out of just zapping this metal wolf thing, and the wolf being like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, that would definitely catch his attention. When he pokes out of the portal and sees that, he would just observe it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Snickering to himself in a very weird way. Sucking air up through a beak in a very strange way.
All right. So is there anything you guys are planning on doing tonight?
Sleeping.
Eating, sleeping.
All right.
TikTok definitely
Aline's
found
still
any
solidly hurt. Like,
Eating,
Yeah.
sleeping, constantly talking to Cove.
Do you say Thalene's still definitely hurt?
studying magic.
Yeah, she's
spell books.
got-
Nerd.
Yep. Being nerds.
Oh, also,
TikTok would definitely bring over one of those health potions then if Thalene was still obviously hurt.
You will heal to full if you manage to get a full sleep. So I don't know if you want to use the health potion.
No, she's like, oh, thank you, but no, he's fine. I'll be fine in the morning.
Also, Cove will be almost like shy of nagging, but she will be encouraging a lot for Elric to eat his eggs, as they are, these are really good for you. You seem injured.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that I'm Elric.
Could you repeat that? Something about the eggs?
Yeah, just to eat them up. They're very good for you. You seem injured. These will help you heal faster.
I seem old.
But he'll eat them up.
I'll take first watch.
Oh, and by the way, he will compliment your cooking.
Thank you.
Because he's a gentleman. Or at least he's a man. Sometimes gentle.
Yeah, no, she'll look over to Thalene. You
Is
did
everyone-
really well cooking tonight.
As everyone seems like they're starting to wrap up for the night, TikTok will pluck the acorn out of the ground,
All right.
pulling the portal up, and he'll tuck it very safely away somewhere deep in one of his bags. I guess we put all the other magical items in the closet. No one else had any problems with that. You would have all seen TikTok putting them all in there. Okay. Yeah, except for the spoon and the kettle, because, that's useful for dinner and stuff. But he'll put everything else kind of like neatly, including the 4 health potions, in there, pluck up the seed, hide that, and then probably go lay against Skull as people start to, bed down.
Aline climbs a tree and sleeps in the tree.
Do we have a order of watch tonight?
First.
I'll cut you off. You have an order of watch. It goes by uneventfully. Nothing
Sure.
really happens. Whoever's on watch will hear wildlife pass by in the night, but nothing approaches the camp. Morning comes. You begin to pack up your stuff. Elric will spend good several minutes pouring through his you'll have time. You'll definitely have time to copy both of the new spells into your spell book. He pours through his book, doing something. It's
He'll go through the book and kind of do what he normally does, and if he has time, because he's a early riser comparatively and doesn't sleep as much, he will draws, because he has another book that he'll find a book that's empty and he'll start drawing.
You found your gear from when you got captured, so you have your old book.
Yeah, he can start doodling the trees.
All right. So, what do you do in the morning?
Cove, while she's usually an early riser, slept way too long.
Yes, same with Aline. Absolutely asleep in the trees.
Now, granted,
Really loud.
Thalene and also, Thalene, you only have to sleep for 4 hours a night.
I know.
You
She
don't
sleeps
have to
for
sleep-
much
yeah.
longer than 4 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
She
until
also
everyone's up,
sleeps very, very loudly.
anyone who does get up or look around will just see TikTok with some small tools tinkering around inside of Skull, turning little gears and stuff, and kind of messing with things.
Hmm?
Maybe the occasional yelp from Skull.
Oh. Moss will approach TikTok. What is this?
So it just looks very wide-eyed. Like you just asked, like, what is the universe?
Have you heard of Jesus?
He was an half-orc barbarian. Oh.
He'll kind of look at he'll look at Skull laying in front of him, and just two different voice, just magic machine, mine.
Huh. It's weird.
He'll beckon Skull like
and-
up closer to him, so they actually can like.
Skull will go up and what appears to be sniff you.
Pat.
He kind of leans into it, like he does enjoy it a little bit.
I'll head over as well and kind of fill in a couple more details for TikTok and explain to Moss. It's an artificial construct TikTok made named Skull, and TikTok can use it for a couple different things, including writing.
Thank you. It's very pretty.
His feathers fluff up a bit. He's just kind of excited about that.
All right, so
Might be
I think we're just waiting for everyone to get up.
yeah, anything else this morning? Like so you all eventually get up.
It's a good
Who's
time
good
for
at
a break.
navigating?
Not Darlene.
Coke will
She's
have
never
kept
been outside
a full
of the
glass of water near her bed at night, and she'll drink it promptly in the morning.
I was just asking, is it a good time to break? Break?
Yeah, let's
yeah,
have
it's a good
our first little break of the game this evening. As usual, we'll take any questions from viewers. Just post them in the chat if you want to know anything more about any player characters in particular, about the channel this game, any of those fun things. Otherwise, we'll just chat for a bit while people run and grab drinks and whatever else. How is everybody this evening in the chat? How y'all doing? How's our lovely little audience? And everybody else. I don't care. I'm impartial. I'm not impartial? Yeah.
She's not picky.
I'm not picky about who I ask how you're doing. I am American. It's kind of just how we greet people.
I'm good. So I realized way after character creation, so much later than I should have, that there was a section in there that's just flavor that I completely ignored until like recently, and like
No one needs flavor text.
Well, it's mystics need a quirk, and I didn't like any of the ones in the book at the time, so I ignored it, and I decided on one now, which is like she's superstitious. So I'm writing out, which is like why she's super into dusk side eggs, because she believes that they're just like healthier and bring good luck. Which also why she spit on the gloves, like just like, so I'm trying to write these down as fast as I can.
I wasn't saying if it just counted. I was giving you a thumbs up by a particular person to say yeah.
How you doing today, Spira? How's your evening?
My evening is fine. And actually, we're not monetized anyway, so I'm gonna post this. I don't think it would matter being monetized. Because it's fun. This is for everybody. This is how I feel about everybody tonight. There you go. This is how I feel about everybody.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I am doing good. I am working on drawing Skull, so got a couple first drafts done.
Nice.
I made it too like plated and gears and tanky looking at first, so I forgot that it was supposed to be kind of like simple metal.
I
well, not
imagined
simple,
like
delicate
delicate or like finesse.
Ornate
Yeah.
cog work.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes. So the shape was still fine, and some of the details I'm keeping, but I'm taking like a lot of the plating off and gonna make it more like maybe a cage chest instead of like the plating I did that was all metal.
Well, that definitely seems super intricate to draw. I'd love to see it when it's, just even in progress.
Well, okay, this is too much plating.
I like
Okay.
it though.
I think it's kind of neat though. Like,
Oh, it
super
definitely
neat.
looks awesome, but it
So-
doesn't.
So basically where all those extra plates are for the chest and the tail, I'm gonna make that more like a cage and etc. Those upper parts of like the thigh and upper arm will also be like made more delicate, but I was pretty happy with the way I made the it's basically like the bones of the like the femur and everything instead of actually having any meat or fur over it.
Also needs longer legs.
Yeah, no,
It is horse-sized, but not in actual mass. But it's like the mass of a horse stretched upwards into a thinner, sort of taller, very gazelle-like kind of way. Because TikTok really likes being up high.
Well, it's first draft.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I
Like a
wasn't
giraffe
criticizing.
minus the neck.
A fox giraffe, yes.
A foxalope.
Yeah, that's much closer. But I was like, I'm so glad I stumbled on that, because I was like, how do I represent him in an animal that like makes sense? Because I was like, it can't be a cat. We know it can't be a cat. So I was like, what would be it like? And like a horse or a dog wouldn't like no
Well,
cane.
yeah, because like if it were a cat, you'd sort of ride in, and like that scene where he's trying to get away from Go would be like, no, skull.
It just wouldn't fucking
Get
listen.
back
Like, nah, I'm out.
You know, he brought up antelope at one point, and I was like, no, that's perfect, because you'll want to be up higher, and that's more interesting than just a horse. And then, I don't know how it went to maned wolf or how he remembered it, but that he said that next, and I was like, that one.
Mean foxes are amazing.
Hey, welcome back, Elvish. How you liking your Thaleen tonight?
Solidly don't have enough energy to play her today. So I'm just drinking some coffee. We'll see. At 11 at night. This is a great idea.
Good idea. And here I am, like, wow, Thaleen's like super chill tonight. This is a good. And like, no, you're just tired.
I mean, she is super chill right now, but I am also just tired. Yes.
Nope, I feel you. I took more meds for wisdom teeth thing, and like just a little more droopy. Trying to keep pump.
Wabba wabba wah.
So, like, how long will it take for me to grow my closet? And can I speed it up? And what animal do I have to sacrifice to whom to make that happen?
You're not sure. You're not sure. You're not sure.
All of them to all the gods. We'll find out eventually.
Trial and
Well-
error. Trial and error. It's
You'll
fine.
certainly gain a name for yourself if nothing else doing that.
Tail is just gonna find him in the tree with like another animal and a knife held over it. Like, stop it! The last 20 didn't work.
Hey, you know it's great. So I have an ocular headache right now, which doesn't hurt. I'm fine. Like, I could run a marathon right now, but like the center of my vision is like staticky, which is great for someone who has to read a lot.
Improv
No,
time.
it's not. You're telling me a lie right now? It's not great. Just letting you know. Solid fib that you told.
All right, so we ready to get back to this?
It's Fid Bonnie.
All right,
I
we good?
made Kozark mad with that one.
Okay, so I think Moss and Feline are going to be guiding and navigating. Moss,
What? Dolly doesn't know where she is.
you said you're good at navigating, and
No,
navigating.
Hey, I'm
I thought-
good at navigating.
Opposite of that.
I
Oh,
am good at navigating, and also I've been to the dusk side before.
So-
Darlene has
Women
never
are
been out of the
different people.
Feywilds.
okay, but do you have survival?
Yes.
Then navigating is navigating, even if you don't know the specific trees. You can still follow animal paths. You can still do it. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult for you because you're not specifically aware of
So
this forest.
I can pathfind, but I have no idea where we're going.
Yeah.
Well, maybe do you want to find water? Do you want to see if you can find a place where a city might be or something like that, just based on...
Actually, you know what? Fine, we'll just do this in character. Like, I can... Okay, so... I can find
Can I add
paths.
real quick that since I have been Duskside, and I've very specifically been to Demoria more than a couple times, like, I could maybe help her, like, can you tell me which way is
so-
this direction?
That is solidly several continents away.
Oh,
Bonnie,
I did, okay.
Yeah.
during the night, was there any direction that was slightly glowing? Like that a city might be that direction?
Give me wisdom perception check.
Ah,
I use my
Anyone can do it. Because if you took a watch, anyone can do it. Oh, rolling 12. Just you rolled not even a d12, just a 12. Just took a 12 out of a box and threw it on the table.
Oh God, no! I messed up.
That counts as a roll, just let it happen. Next time, do a 20.
I doubt you rolled a 126. However, Tail.
Why?
There we go.
Yeah, Tail. When you there was no glow, but Tail earlier in the morning did notice a slight a slight whiff of smoke, and it seemed to kind of be coming from like the wind was moving a very specific direction, and she caught a hint of smoke early in the morning.
Okay, I'll save that information till like we're ready to go, but then when we're all packed and starting to move, I will relay that information to the group.
Would Cove pick up on any of that, or...
Can't Cove fly?
Didn't work out so well this time.
Well, last
That
time
was
trees were
she was trying to climb at the same time. Like, she won't take falling damage if it, you know.
Yeah.
She did scout.
Not really. It was a fraction of a second, and then it disappeared. It wasn't like a sustained thing.
So, I can pathfind through woods. I'm good at this. However, I don't know where we're going. I've never been out of Feywilds. I don't know where we are. Where do you want to go?
I know we're on the dusk side, but I don't know this forest, so I can't really offer much more than what I noticed early in the morning.
Unfortunately,
Which
this
direction
forest
did
is
you
huge.
say the smoke was coming from?
God.
It was slightly north. It was east by northeast, so mostly east, a little bit north.
And I know we kind of talked first night, but I don't really know any of you, so maybe we talk while we go, yeah?
That sounds good to
Sure.
me.
Tazak will make the sound of a bit like a quiet but busy sort of town square with lots of different murmurs going on.
You know, go to town? Okay.
Yeah,
No, when you
and
say we'll talk, he'll make the sound of a lot of different people talking.
Dominic, Haran, and Renewil they've never been like Renuel is from Duskside, but he's basically never left Demuria. And Haran has never come Duskside, neither has Dominic, so they are not going to be of much help.
Dominic's
Well-
the kid, right?
Yes, Dominic is the kid.
I can lead us to water, hopefully a stream. We can mostly follow a stream, and therefore, wherever we are, we still have water at night.
Seems like a
Yeah.
decent plan, and usually, as long as you go the right direction, water will lead you to a town.
Downstream.
Meh. Or lake,
TikTok.
or floating ocean.
What other
It's
kind of oceans are there, Thaleen?
Not floating ones.
Have you seen them?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you about them later if you don't mind.
Yes, TikTok.
No, literally, when you're like talking about floating, I was just like, what?
Right. Step up, I'm sorry.
But
More like floating lake, not ocean.
no, he'll lean down in front, or he'll have Skull lean down in front of Dominic and grab and have Dominic hop on the back of Skull with him.
Yeah, he will gladly jump on, with a little bit of a childish giggle.
Well, I'm gonna say kind of boisterously and like arms up in the air as if like, what are we waiting for? And not exactly leading the group, but start in the direction I mentioned. Keep walking and say, my name is Tail, and as you can see, I am a tiefling. But more importantly, I am a bard with the Bard's College in White Reef, and I'll give like a little bit more of my resume, but still just kind of with a joking tone. And then I'm gonna wave my arm over to TikTok. And this is my associate, TikTok, who couldn't get on without.
I'll call when she says TikTok. When he makes bird noises, his actual bird noises are pretty consistently crow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you sing, play that I like that. What is that?
Oh, this is called a Hurdy-Gurdy. It's basically a stringed instrument, as you saw me playing it, but it combines the wheel action, the cranking wheel action also creates part of the sound, and there's a bit of key work as well. It's a pretty interesting instrument, and I'll give a couple more finer details that I don't know all that much more about them.
Yeah.
It looks very intricate. How long did it take you to learn?
Oh, not much longer after I learned how to use a lyre and small guitars, things like that.
Well, that's amazing. You sound very talented.
Thank you. It is something I always had an interest in. I've always been interested in stories. They kind of go hand in hand.
You tell good stories. You should tell a story tonight.
Careful what you ask for.
No, I'm never careful. You might have noticed that.
Fair enough.
What about you, Moss? Can you tell us anything about yourself?
Sorry, I was fixing my character sheet.
That's very interesting. Miles.
Simple, you cheeky bastard. I'm just a simple herbalist. I come from a small tribe of lizard folk in the Sunken Swamps, which would be the continent which I had Loaltech on.
Yeah, so
The
so
big
west
swampy
of White
land.
Reef, Tail would probably recognize what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Just travel from town to town, doing various odd jobs. That's about it.
Odd jobs.
Healing, taking care of the sick, or if that work doesn't show up, basic laborer.
You make
What
good
kind
steak.
of labor?
Sorry, what?
What
Oh.
kind of labor?
Dock work, street cleaning, just generic labor. Simple work.
Renuel grunts in appreciation.
Do you do dock work as well, Renwill, or street cleaning, or healing?
Yes, I am in Temuria. I am a dock worker, have been for many years.
Travel at all?
This is the first time. It is not what I expected.
It doesn't sound like the best circumstances.
Not exactly.
You feel okay? By the way, you were open on a table yesterday.
That was
Wrong one.
Haram.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Haran,
Scratch
the
that.
Green Dragonborn.
Scratch that.
Yes,
I didn't
this
say
is
that.
this is the
I would say that to the correct person. When
yeah.
it
This
their
is
turn.
this is the white tiefling.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the white tiefling that is speaking right now.
Wait, are we -1 right now? The little,
Oh yeah, where's the little one?
Like, yeah, so where is this the small one?
as Tail gets distracted.
What?
Everyone,
Around with the little girl.
Yes. Where is
Yeah.
Wait,
Leah?
boy, right? Oh, imp chick.
Lena said she was returning to home. I wish her the best, as long as it sounded like she'd been there, trapped there for a very long time.
She could not have come with us. I imagine we are going to a big city to get on a ship.
She kind of disappeared into the ground again, like she likes to do. I feel like she knows where she's going, or at least is happy enough to travel alone.
Huh.
Well,
sounds
wish her
like
the
last
best.
time.
How about you, Elric?
Hmm. Well, I'm just one of the youngest of farmers merchant. Found myself enough coin to get myself into the academy. Ironically, fell into this late singing business, if you will, because of someone else. But ended up sticking with it and going all the way through college with it, and well, here I am. I kind of just travel around.
Question for Articus.
Yeah, what's up?
When you use your blade singing, is your character actually singing?
So I actually looked that up to see if that was actually a thing. And the answer is, it depends.
Yeah, it's up to you. That's again a lot of the stuff that you can look up is the stuff you can look up in Faerun. This is not Faerun.
And I'm just asking you because
I think he just kind of lightly hums to himself. And kind of has a beat on his foot. Like that kind of, kind of percussion, kind of movement. But yeah, he probably hums.
that is a beautiful tune. Where did you learn it?
I made it up. I make it up mostly on the spot.
Now I really want a blade singer that tap dances.
It's kind of close to what he's doing.
That's it, but like a little more stomp than tap dancing.
Yeah.
After a series of unfortunate events, season 2,
Yep.
just tap dancing, please.
Yep, please.
Solidly only tap dancing.
And his name is Elric Klexley.
I was typing that out, Elvish.
It doesn't rhyme with anything because his last name is fucking Kelsley.
Well, that's okay because he doesn't rhyme
It
usually.
never rhymes.
It almost rhymes with itself.
Alright, anyway.
Extreme.
Yeah, no, I just kind of travel. I enjoy reading, drawing, and occasional drinking.
It's like a Tinder profile.
Who's looking for some hot wizard?
What about you, Cove?
Oh, I'm employed as a furrier by my family, and usually when trapping in the woods, you have plenty of time on your hand to study, which is what I do in my spare time.
And TikTok.
You catch first.
Yes.
What gun you catch?
It depends where we are. Dusk side, you can find quite a few things that you can sell for a good price on the dawn side.
Huh. I don't know how to get back to Feywild, so this seems like possible profession.
I would be happy to work with you and also to help you get back if that's what you wish as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So with your,
I was just gonna ask. I was gonna turn to Cove and say, "Have you ever done trapping in the Hydnella Forest?"
So what I was gonna just say, What I was gonna just say is, a lot of what you and your family do are forest creatures and like ice creatures based on the kind of locations that you have access to. Deer type creatures and I'm sorry, not forest, like plains creatures, and there is a little bit to the east of where your Dusk Side station is set up. There is a very, very tundra-y area that you can get like yetis if you're, which for you is not something that you have done personally unless you've been on a large expedition. A lot of very heavily furred creatures or kind of deer type creatures are mostly what you focus on. You've never been to that forest is an entire continent away and would be a lot of work that I don't really think your family could afford to just do willy-nilly.
Absolutely. There was an animal that I kind of wanted to. Obviously this is pending permission, but sort of like a fox type, like a snowy fox type creature in the Dusk Side near that station. Like it's actually quite cool for a fur and sells for a good price on the Dawn Side.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely, like, you'll find all sorts of crazy stuff. People, especially in your profession, are always finding new creatures that like you never even knew about before because, a wizard played some bullshit, or it's just vast areas of tundra that have never gotten touched.
Yeah, so then she'll turn to Tail and smiling. No, I haven't, but it sounds very interesting. I would love to if I got the chance.
I am actually, I do want to go home, but I've never been out there before, so this is good opportunity to look around. Yeah, it's a big, wide world to look at. What is what? Explore. That's smart.
I agree.
At this point, Dominic will kind of like puff his chest up from the back of Skull and say, "I am from the Gold Crown Mountains. I don't exactly know how I'm going to get back there, but I am I'm actually the son of the lightning speaker of my tribe, and I could one day become the lightning speaker if I keep up my studies, is what my mother tells me."
Is that like leader or like what? Like wise woman?
Lightning speaker is and he looks a little bit confused, like the lightning speaker's the lightning speaker. What are you asking? But like he takes a second and he sits. The protector of our tribe she leads and guides tactics and protection from raiders and the like. She's a very powerful warrior.
That sounds like a chief.
No, our chief is different. Our wind speaker is different person entirely.
Well, Dominic, I will help you get home if you so desire.
I would appreciate this.
Yes, we'll do what we can.
When he does say the lightning speaker thing, TikTok will mimic the noise that it was making earlier when he was poking Skull with the small shock, just like the small shock noise, and he'll look delighted.
Oh, that is very cool. It's very interesting. How do you do this?
He'll just like look like, what are you talking about? Just looking sideways.
That's his specialty. Haven't
Where
found
are
a
you
sound he
from,
couldn't repeat.
TikTok?
What's that, Cove?
Where are you from, TikTok?
I want to know this, yes, as well.
Please.
From the nest.
If he actually says from a nest,
No.
we will actually just kind of like turn and look at him like, yeah.
Actually, yeah. From a nest, of course. Yeah, sure. Why not? Well, let's do it.
Telling a laugh.
When did
I'm
you
not-
two meet? Gesturing at Tail.
Well, it was somewhat unremarkable, I suppose. We met in a market. TikTok was having some trouble making a deal, and I offered to try and step in and help. I've got away with words, as much as TikTok has a way with repeating them. It seemed to just work out well. We went and had a drink. I was very interested to get as much out of him as I could in all the different voices it came out in. And, I don't know, one way or another, we wound up just sort of traveling together for a little while, and it's just been an interesting and fun friendship.
Well, what do you do for a livelihood, TikTok?
TikTok will repeat noises that sound almost like a blacksmith shop with different kinds of hammers hitting anvils of metal, the sound of quenching, hot iron and water, but it all sounds somehow smaller, like not like,
Ting, 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 ting.
yeah,
Like distant?
everything sounds like further away. Maybe if you'd actually been to like a jeweler's that's actually like making, forging hot jewelry. Yeah, if you hadn't, it just sounds like a small blacksmith.
Thought he was what really a blacksmith sounds like either. Like, she's just like,
Fine.
what the
Fair enough.
fuck is
But
this?
those are the noises that come out, and he'll pat on Skull, and then
I'm gonna
Yeah.
also like lazily point at Skull and be like, that sort of thing.
Smithing or
It's a little bit more like complicated jewelry making. He can.
oh, you're a jeweler.
Well, he can make jewelry, but usually slightly more complicated trinkets and artifacts.
he'll make the sound of a common spell, like maybe a magic missile, if that's common enough. People might know what the sound, just the sound of magic going off. And he'll twist.
I feel like the spell that most often would be heard would be like the sound of the energy release from like a cure wounds, because everyone's kind of seen that. Everyone has met a priest that has, gotten a wound broken or a broken leg like fixed or something.
So especially when Tail says the word trinkets, and obviously with the follow-up of the magical sounds, Cove will kind of, to herself, just in realization of exactly why he might have wanted that acorn so goddamn much.
What is his name? As Dominic points to Skull.
He calls it Skull.
Where would be? This is your world. So, like, are dwarves still close to Viking?
They make amazing beer.
Yeah, they are. They're similar. I mean,
like their culture-ish kind of.
Yeah. So they
gods,
are. They are very.
pantheons,
Yeah.
big animals.
They're very proud, very boisterous people. Known for their alcohol and their smithing.
Yeah, but
So pretty
And
traditional
farming
dwarf.
too, I think, if I remember correctly. At
What's
least
that?
in this world. And they're like underground farming, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
In this world. Yeah.
But anyway, because there's no actual Viking mythology in this
Yeah.
world, he would probably say in like a deep, as much. Well, he's a bird. He's actually good at booming voices. In like a booming, deep voice, Skull in a dwarven. With a dwarven tone to it. And he'll do a little crack of thunder afterwards and just look really delighted with himself.
Dominic will
I
also look
shrug
at
and
him.
go, he liked the sound of it.
I can see why.
Have we made it any closer to this?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a ways away. Actually, any, go ahead and give me somebody wisdom survival check with advantage because
Can I use
you have
my
enough
passive
people.
for it? Is with advantage, it's a 20.
With
Yeah.
advantage means roll 2 d20s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the word. I have +5. Why is that
yeah.
so painful?
Oh, that's fine. Oh, so just as a habit, you're rolling 2 separate rolls.
Oh.
And I made Feline re-roll last time, so go ahead and re-roll, and it's 1 d20 plus 5 2 times, and that's gonna be the method here.
Okay.
Consistently.
That's better.
Okay, yeah. So between the 3 of you that are navigating with little hints from Elric, who kind of knows this forest and has read a couple things about it, and Tail, who has been Duskside, and between the collection of you, you manage to eventually, and this is over the course of most of the day, you manage to find your way to a fairly wide road. A little bit south of, and you can see kind of down in the distance, a large 2-story building that is that has a fireplace that seems to be going. It's shooting up a plume of smoke.
Well, that was lucky.
There.
That's a very good nose there, too.
Thank you, Thaleen.
Yeah, it seemed like Haran might have, or Helium might have put this acorn here traditionally because it was relatively close to this this building.
Maybe we avoid mentioning helium.
Yeah.
To the part. Maybe we avoid mentioning helium back there.
Yeah.
Also, now, so I didn't ask this earlier. What are you doing with Hastel?
See, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
If you get 2 sticks and like some sort of tapestry or cloth, you can carry her like kind of like an injured person. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
litter.
like almost a sled, and you just pull behind
Yeah.
you.
Also, Moss would not have left her behind, so...
Yeah. No, I'm just curious what
I
you're
also would not have done that.
You're just carrying her along?
Yep. Like an injured person, essentially.
On a stretcher.
I know I can ride. What is the how much can Skull actually pull?
He is approximately a horse. Like he is more or less. Okay, wait. So you are going with
I think we
the
changed
intricate
over to
build.
balanced.
What's that?
I think we went with the balanced quadruped, right?
Yeah. So. One moment.
I'm digging too right now.
Yeah. What basically what is it? What is his strength score? That's the big most important number.
If it has wisdom 9, it's an idiot, right?
It's a little bit less clever than the average person. So an average wisdom score, an average anything is a 10.
Yeah, it has 10 strength.
All right. Then it can usually carry like one person. Anything more than that, and he starts to struggle a little bit.
So I weigh very little, and I have a child. That's okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
'Cause
Yeah,
I am
you
a
don't weigh
bird
much
person.
at all.
Bird bones.
Anything beyond a regular person, he's gonna start slowing down and struggling, and you're gonna hear the gears click and the strain of the metal.
Would dragging the behind it be too much? Like over
That
okay.
with you, Dominic, and the dragging, that would be too much.
At the beginning of this journey, TikTok would have offered one or the other. Whatever the group decides. He wouldn't have made you carry.
Yeah.
Moss would be more than happy to carry it, or help carry.
Oh yeah, she is not particularly heavy, so you managed. I'm not. You managed to carry him just fine. That's not a huge deal. or her, because she is a little bit on the thin side. She is elven blood, so she is lighter than, say, a human or a dwarf would be.
And just so you know, Zibs, it would be 10 strength, 16 dex, 10 constitution, 3 int, 13 wisdom, and 1
Alright.
charisma.
All right.
So wisdom, dex, that's his strong points.
Yeah. And just for future reference, do you have the melee attack or the ranged attack?
Ranged.
All right. Cool.
I can rebuild it, so
Yeah, that's
it
fine.
doesn't have to be permanent.
So yeah.
But this is TikTok's first try, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave it canon that if he doesn't like this, he will actually in-game fix it.
Yeah. So what do you do as you approach this? I assume you're approaching this building. You can just walk away from it. That's fine too.
Nah, I'd say we approach it.
All right. So as you approach it,
TikTok would start falling back as we get closer, because that's real weird. A bird on a giant mechanical gazelle thing.
yeah.
We'll be fine.
So as you approach it, it's a big, very sturdy, well-built building, and it's over the front door has a floating golden sword hanging point down above the door of the building, and it says "in" on it too.
When you
Colleen
say floating,
stares
do you
at it
mean
for a hot
magically
second.
floating?
Yes, it is floating in the air.
Does it sound like there's people inside? Do we see any activity?
Yeah, as you so it's getting towards like dusk. It's not loud and boisterous, but no, the door is actually thick enough. You don't really hear people inside. However, there is a plume of smoke coming out of it. The windows are lit. You can actually see movement inside of the windows.
Then we go.
Say we go in.
All right.
Now, what are we
You-
doing at the injured woman? We have the Helen Heron, whatever the hell her name.
Hurrah.
Yeah, that.
What? Why are we waiting? What is?
Are we going in with Haran?
No, Ron's not the injured person.
Hastel is the chick that is.
Hastel. I'm
Injured
sorry.
A lot of
Team.
ages.
Everything is an age.
I'll work on it.
Yes, sorry. Yes, that.
No, that's on me. I'll work on it.
It's
I'll
like
wait out
Hope
here.
watching Lord of the Rings. Why do they all start with A?
I'm sorry.
Literally.
It was hilarious.
We can keep her outside before we get an A.
Eowyn, Arwen.
No, Eowyn starts with an E.
Well,
It's the
you're
same sound.
confusing me,
Anyway.
okay?
No, it's not.
I'm
Okay.
offended.
You know what? I'm offended. Let's put a pin in this. I'd be offended at it later.
I'll wait out here. Someone bring a doctor or something.
We'll talk to the keeper.
Yeah, I'll go in.
All right. So who
Yeah,
all
go
is
again.
going in?
I am.
I will hang back, but I will take oh damn it, Dylan, Dexter, Demon,
Dominic.
Dominic. I'll kind of like grab Dominic by the arms and like lift, like lower him down off of the back of Skull so he can go in with everyone.
All right. So Tail, Elric. Anybody else? All right. So Tail, Elric, and Dominic, I guess.
No, I'll stay outside of
Haran is also going to be going in, and Rena will.
everyone going in. Okay.
I'm watching the body.
Yeah. So
The body.
TikTok is specifically
TikTok, Moss, and I guess Cove and Thaleen are staying outside.
Yes.
Darlene is solidly trying to read the sign because she can't read it.
And yeah, Elric is totally
Because the letters
sidestepping
are
the golden
different.
sword because he doesn't want to get stabbed by
No,
it.
it's above. It is like the point is above the top of the door. So
Oh, he's
Cove
quite
is going
aware.
to- Like, she'll
Alright.
notice Darlene
Like, nope.
struggling and then kind of politely pretend to as well. And then after a moment, maybe just write a translation in Elvish in her notebook and then pass it over.
Oh,
yeah, it just says in.
like she can speak common pretty good, but she can't,
Reading is another
like a
story.
different alphabet, so she can't read it very well.
All right, so
Thank you for giving me the image that Cove is pretending to try to read the word in out of politeness.
That's like golden sword in, like it's more than
no, yeah. Well, it doesn't say the word golden sword. There is.
Oh,
just
well, I
a
thought it did. Still,
golden
she was
sword.
still looking at it like, this is a short word. I
Yeah.
can do this.
So
one.
so commonly. So a lot of times there will be a lot of people that are not terribly literate. So generally, inns and taverns are just going to have a thing hanging above the door. So it's the golden. This is probably the golden sword inn, but they don't make people who are illiterate read. It's just this is the one with the golden sword above it. Okay, so the people that are going in, go in.
Okay. What do we see?
Inside there is a nice rustic, lots of dark wood tavern and inn that is warmly lit by a fire off in the corner. There are a handful of people sitting at two tables. One is being much louder than the other, and there's a little halfling woman kind of darting around back behind the counter, back out to one of the tables, kind of goes back. She seems a little bit frazzled. And behind the counter, there is a Duragar, a dark dwarf, dark skin, white hair, wearing kind of generic commoner's clothes. Around his head, he has a very delicate-looking rose gold circlet that has a pale pink gem in the center, like at the forehead. But the most recognizable thing about him is that his eyes are gone. They seem to have been scarred out, and like there's just scar tissue where his eyes would be. And he will, without looking, like he's still, polishing and doing what barkeepers do, polishing the bar. Welcome to the Golden Sword Inn, my friends.
Thank you very much. Do you have rooms available?
Oh, aye, we do. That's yeah. Got plenty. How many are you looking for?
Good question. I have a number of traveling companions. I'd say if we double up.
I've got two types of rooms. I've got nice rooms for the nobles and such that come along this road. Those will be a gold apiece, and per night. And I have more common rooms that for the average folk that'll run you about 5 copper each.
All right. Well, that all said, I believe we'll certainly be stopping for some food and drink. Can you tell me where the nearest village is?
Aye, that'd be
Tail would know that TikTok refuses to sleep in a room without Skull. He will either sleep outside with Skull, or Skull sleeps in the room with him. But he will not sleep anywhere else. So if you're like divvying up rooms, you'll know that TikTok needs 2 beds. Or at least a large room where Skull can curl up on the floor.
You also, as you approach, did see a stable for horses, though there appear to be Three horses that were in the stable.
How much does a horse cost?
40 or so gold, I believe.
I think it cost me
45.
1,000 gold to remake Skull. He does not go in stables.
Yeah. I thought it'd be Arn if it's a couple days north of here. It's not too bad. It's easy roads. He's and if you're looking for a city though, that's Tiertino, which is a little bit north of that. So you guys are you're coming in from the Sea of Dust?
Yes. We're not particularly versed in the area. We're traveling kind of adventurers. I'm the story keeper, so I'm traveling along to learn more about the area and the people.
Oh, I figured as much. You don't exactly look like merchants.
No, not so much. Although a couple of us are well versed in trade. Well, thank you. I'm going to step back outside and see if we're going to stay the evening or try and continue on foot.
So we've spent most of the day traveling, Ben?
Yeah, most of the day traveling. It's getting toward dusk.
Yeah.
We should rest here probably and then make our way towards the city. Clerics might be able to help her.
I wasn't keeping, I'm not the treasurer, so I don't know if we've got enough to bed everybody down here.
From my count earlier, we do have enough. Plenty, in fact. But I don't have the money.
I was gonna say, yeah. Someone would have saw TikTok put the seed away, and he's just gonna pat his chest and shake his head. But he'll open his purse and pull out 5 gold. He didn't hear the prices, so he's like, "Is this enough?"
There's 9 people in the group, not including Skull.
It was a gold for a noble's room, or 5 copper for a single.
A regular. So
Or, yeah, a gold per person in a noble's room, or 5 copper per person in a regular room.
He'll take one of the pieces of gold and put it in his beak and hold it, and hold out another piece of gold for everyone else.
Thank you.
Sure.
Basically,
This is back outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then Cope will take a peek.
if anyone wanted to pitch in to buy your own rooms, or he will buy you all a room, but not a nice one.
How much money would I have, Van, from previous wanderings? Because we got all our gear back, right?
I don't.
And then did all of the platinum get split up, or was that just...
No.
It's in the tree. It's in the other realm.
Yeah.
And TikTok seems reluctant to do that right here, right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then she's not going to bring it up. I'm just curious, me.
Yeah, no, he, in a very obvious, everyone look, I'm putting all the stuff in here, and then pluck the seed out of the ground.
Yeah. You'd have, oh god. You could do that. That is the thing you could do.
It's an acorn, they're edible.
You'll all have maybe 5 or 10 gold each or so in your stuff. So the amount of platinum that TikTok found is a king's ransom. Feline would basically have none because she wouldn't need it where she was from.
Yeah, I barter. We don't have coin.
Would you
An
have
artisan?
taken the offered piece that...
Oh yeah, I would have taken it. Yeah, sure. I know that money exists. I've just never used it before.
Tail would definitely know that TikTok has money. If she wanted to hit him up for more money, because he's an artist, he's a guild artisan and an artificer guild artisan, and a tradesperson.
I'm a starving artist. I'm perfectly happy with a single 5 copper room. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, she'll take a 5 copper room.
As everyone starts talking about money, TikTok will slowly reach in and pull out another gold. Is this not enough for everybody?
Since I have gold, Moss wouldn't have taken the coin. He would pay for his own room.
Sorry.
Would you be paying for the full gold room, or
He'd do the 5 copper.
Yeah, the second you like try to like divvy up copper and stuff, TikTok can be like, no, like take.
I'll take the gold from TikTok. Alright, this should cover just about anyone who wants the 5 copper rooms.
TikTok will drop the extra piece of gold in your hand. Wait, does it look like does Skull have any chance of making it through this door?
Yeah, he could make it through the door. It might be like a little bit awkward, but he should be able to make it through the door.
Wait,
Like he's gonna have to stoop.
So how many coppers into a gold piece?
There's 10 copper to a silver, 10 silver to a gold,
So 100 copper.
10 gold to
okay.
a platinum. And
Alright,
I don't
then
use Electrum because Electrum is dumb.
You would know that TikTok wouldn't want change. He wouldn't be interested. That'd be like drinks, food, whatever.
All right. So does everyone head in now?
Yep.
Yeah. Bringing in the stretcher.
TikTok will stop at the door with like Skull behind him and kind of like poke tail. She would know that this is like his thing. Like, is he okay to come in? If the innkeep says no, he won't do that. With the gold.
Yeah.
Like-
Let's just ask, and we'll sort it out afterwards if not.
All right. So you all go in.
TikTok waits at the door.
So like in the doorway.
Basically
Or
waiting
outside.
for permission for Skull to try to get
Alright.
in.
So as you all walk in. Oh, you're right. You do have a. Oh, is she all right? Do you need me? I don't really have anyone. I don't think that I can help with that. But
We kind of there.
She's unconscious. We're looking to go to the city.
We're looking after her.
She has an illness, but it's not contagious.
he, a little bit of a relief, looks over or crosses over his face. He's like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'm sorry. I guess."
Also, he's blind, right? Because his
Yes.
eyes. Yeah.
Yes. And he does not. He is not looking in your direction when he references that he can see you.
At the innkeeper, do you have any idea what kind of money a boat ride would cost once we
A
get to the
boat
city?
ride?
Once we get to the city.
I don't. Like where are you looking to go?
The other side of the coin.
So that's gonna be expensive. That's gonna be in the. Yay! Not being an economist. Yes. While I delay my answer, yes. TikTok. How can I help you?
Is it actually called the coin?
If we come up with a name for it, I'd much
Yeah.
rather use that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the coin just insufferably sounds like.
I like that that's an option. We call it like saying the globe. But
Yeah.
but it has its own world name.
Yeah. But I mean, it kind of got the idea across, and we don't have anything better right now.
Okay, we should work. We should all work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, after this session.
It's like epic journey. The coin.
The great coin.
Okay. So he will.
I like it. I love it.
He will give you an approximate answer. I need to work on how economics works, because that's a complex process that deserves an entire degree.
Is it
So,
out of the realm of what we have right now?
If you don't spend much, it's probably good. Now getting a boat to one of the other continents down here, that's a lot easier. But traversing the edge, that's usually a pricey aspect.
Thank you.
So how many rooms then?
For doing 2 and 2, I think that's 5 rooms. If we include the stretcher.
Yeah, no, he's asking.
5 rooms then.
All right, so all the regular rooms, I assume.
Yeah, 5 copper.
All right, that will be.
As he's asking, I'm gonna point behind me. My friend is very concerned about leaving his
As Tail starts like inquiring, he'll like motion for Skull to like put his head down, stooping way under into the door and looking in.
What nine hells is that?
It is a construct that my friend made himself. It is very docile. It will cause no trouble. But it costs quite a lot to make, so he's very concerned about leaving it anywhere outside his room.
Tail would not use the word construct, expensive, any of those tells. She would just say it's his pet.
Okay.
And he's very attached. Saying other things like that gets artificers in trouble.
Okay. Well, it is his pet. He's very protective of it, and it is completely docile. You have no concern about it causing any damage. Or any ruckus.
Won't damage my end.
In like a research kind of or not rehearsed kind of way, TikTok will like clap, and then Skull will like drop to the ground completely flat when she says he's docile and obedient.
And it won't damage my end.
Not at all.
All right, I've got no problem with it. If it does, I'm coming after him. But until that happens, we're good.
Yeah, I'll walk in, and Skull will definitely struggle through the doorway.
Yeah. Looking at the party, meet back down here once we settle in. Plan from there.
Yep.
I'll put another gold on the countertop for like one of the nice rooms because he's kind of big.
Oh, okay. So
And
that will
I'll just
be
clarify that.
20 gold, or that will be 1 gold, 20 copper.
I give my gold, and then Tail, I leave the change with her, so whatever she wants to do.
Sorry, what was that?
Yep.
I give him my gold, and Tail, I leave with the other piece of gold,
Alright.
doing whatever she wants.
So who
Alright.
we you're booking with?
Yeah.
I'll immediately offer to take the take Hostel into my room.
All right.
I'm cool with anyone.
Is the room big enough for Skull and TikTok on one bed and still room for someone else, or is it?
So it's a big room. The bed's not really big enough for Skull.
Oh no, he would curl up on the floor. He's not.
Okay.
I mean, is the other bed still accessible with Skull in the room?
Yeah, I'd say so. Someone can room with
TikTok.
Wouldn't it make sense that it was
I'll take.
Tail? But
No, I would. She'd probably usually stay off on her own. I'll actually take Daniel. Damn
Dominic.
it!
Dominic.
Thank you, Dominic. I'll have Dominic stay with me.
I'll stay with the Dragonborn guy. He entertains me. Mostly, I'm just gonna hand him the book every time he starts getting any kind of salty with me. I'm like, hey, you look at these again.
I'll take the last H that isn't taken. The sailor.
No. Huh? No,
The sailor.
Rinnewill?
Oh,
Rinnewill?
Rinnewill. I thought he was an H. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Rinnewill.
So that leaves Cove and Darlene to stay together.
Hey!
Also leaves Hiran. But I don't imagine him
No,
wanting to book
Hiran-
him.
No,
Haran
he's
is
going with
staying
Dominic.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because Elric is
Oh, yeah, you said the
completely
Dragonborn.
entertained by his complaining.
His uppity mageness.
He's just like, "Hur."
I
You just get enough
I love
books.
his mouth full of marbles posh voice.
It's like he's got like the turkey neck
Mhm.
under him.
He has the waddle.
Yeah.
All right. So do you? So you get settled in. You kind of
drop things off in your rooms. The innkeep, whose name is Bifund.
Bifund?
Yeah, Bifund.
Is that like beef?
Bifund. That's randomly generated because I'm terrible with names. That's what that is. He will give you all keys. The key to TikTok's room is nicer and has like a touch of magic to it.
This makes TikTok feel better.
His name sounds like a German dog name, but the dog looks like a cow.
It's a milk puppy.
Bifund.
All right. So he will.
TikTok would get settled and then probably head back downstairs, upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. So it is 2 stories. The tavern portion is downstairs. The inn is got quite a few rooms upstairs. It's several halls.
There will be a bit of a scene as TikTok like gently glides up, trying not to like scratch walls or anything with Skull. But then he'd probably head right back down pretty quick after like dropping all his stuff on the floor.
Yeah. And Skull is staying up there?
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't know if Dominic wants to join us.
Yeah, he'll come down.
Or hang with Skull, either way.
Harana's going to stay upstairs. He's going to sleep.
Did TikTok leave a radio on for Skull?
I was going to say, like, I will actually go out of my way to invent one of those, like, little old, the ferret balls that, like, randomly rolled around the room. Just, that's my next, that's going to be it. That's my item.
All right, Moss would make his way back downstairs very quickly.
I am assuming this girl ain't waking up, but just on super safety side, I write like a little note. It's just essentially like, hi, you're in an inn. People are downstairs if you need anything. I'd like just kind of leave it like on her chest and then close the door, hoping nobody decides. I don't want to lock her in there in case she does wake up, but I'm just gonna be okay, this should be fine. And
I just realized something.
I'm gonna go downstairs to get some food and drink.
How are
When
you
you
gonna...
said leave it on her chest, I imagine just taking a stapler and just being like,
How are we going to feed her?
Broth.
So you read through the through Helium's journal, and she seems to be in a kind of magical stasis.
Okay,
she does not need, like, she doesn't really need for anything. She just exists and emanates a kind of fiendish aura.
So if everybody is like settling into the room but then coming back downstairs to eat and drink, let's take one more little break just in case anybody needs it, and then we'll get back to the game for a little bit longer. So as always, any questions or anything you guys want to
It's so cute.
It is a cute puppy.
Hope I've ever said how jealous I am about how attentively your dog looks at you.
Your dog
I
loves you.
did not know that you felt that way.
I can only get my dog to look at me that attentively if I'm holding food.
And
even then, it's got to be good food.
He's starting to completely ignore me when I take him to the dog park, though. So, like, double-edged sword here.
I want to see someone Photoshop Farlene's portrait drawing onto Jack Skellington when he sings "What's This?" because I feel like that's what Farlene's doing. Yes.
I mean, she knows what buildings are.
Yeah, but like, they're not Fey building.
That would be the kind of smart-ass, like, disconnected thing TikTok would go. She'd see her looking at me, he'd be like, building.
Hamster!
And he's hands down.
Hamsterville!
He's hands down the best hamster I've ever had.
He's
I didn't know there was such a
super,
good
like,
thing as
friendly.
good hamster.
Well,
Right.
like, I've only ever had this hamster, so...
I've only met kind of jerky hamsters, and this guy seems so chill. I'm
he's
soup's jelly.
That's probably because you've dealt with Syrians and dwarves are much nicer.
I don't know. Like, I've never had a hamster. I've just known.
I thought
people
this
with
went
hamsters.
political for a second. I was like, what? Oh.
Oh, I have no clue. My wife is the fucking hamster nerd. Yeah, I just I have it because she wanted to hamster. That's my knowledge of hamsters right there.
Spira really wants rats, and I'm a no. Solid no.
I'm not against it.
I have nothing against rats, but have you heard how Puck squeaks? No squeaking.
He does like his squeakers.
Yeah.
Which is an expression of prey drive, so nope.
What's an expression of prey drive?
Squeaking.
Yeah.
Squeaking mimics the sound of biting animals. So he desperately wants to squeak the cats. And he doesn't want to hurt them. He just wants to squeak them.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't get it.
Generally speaking, when we leave our bedroom door open, which is where we keep the hamster, the one of the asshole cat will just like stare. And he will just spend hours just...
I know what you are.
Is that a bag of peas?
It's a bag of corn.
What have you done to yourself?
I got my teeth out.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
that
my
was-
gosh, that's right, that happened today.
Yeah.
I am surprised you're
And
here.
this
Yeah.
thirsty bitch is like,
I couldn't. Like I know when I got my 2 wisdom teeth out, because I still have 2 of them. When I got mine out, I was in class studying the next day. I was a little bit miserable, but that day, I was like kind of groaning a little bit, but didn't have any trouble. The dentist prescribed a frustratingly perfect amount of Percocet to the point where it reduced the pain, but didn't make me high in any way. It did exactly what it was supposed to, and I was very disappointed by that.
I've been a little wobbly, and I took an extra, another dose of the meds when partway through the stream, but I'm still hurting. So just corn for now.
yeah, I took a nap and I was otherwise fine. I think I took one of my painkillers that day, and I didn't even think I took anything the next day. I was pretty alright. But they gave me codeine, probably a very low dose, but they gave me codeine, and I actually just kept it in the cabinet. So really, really bad period cramps. Took one of those.
I was
They gave
allergic
me
to Norco.
Norco or something like that. I don't really know what it is. Norco?
Yeah, Norco. That's what I got. I'm allergic, so I couldn't use my painkillers when I had mine out.
Or codone, because that's not as bad as codeine.
Oxycontin.
I got mine removed, and the only problem was I wasn't in physical pain. Someone screwed up. She would blame me. I would blame her. Either way, someone screwed up, and I can no longer feel the left side of my tongue. So
Woof.
it's been 10 or 12 years now, so I don't think I'm ever getting it back.
Shit.
Yeah, you know that stupid waiver you sign, the dentist isn't responsible for you dying. You're like, fuck off, that could happen.
So, solidly, that doesn't actually make them not culpable. It just makes people think that they can't sue.
I'm only gonna say, in the nurse's defense, when they asked him how much he drank, he told them about a small fraction of how much he did. So they didn't give him much to put him under, and he woke up, but didn't fully wake up.
Yeah, so there's one sedative they give you that's actually based on your alcohol tolerance. And I lied my ass off because I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Of course I did. Well, that bit me in the ass about the 4th time I woke up while she was removing my wisdom teeth. And she was like, do you want to keep going? Because I can't give you any more of this shit. You're going to die. I didn't know. To all the kids out there, pro tip, don't lie to your fucking doctor.
Ever.
You might lose the feeling in half of your tongue.
Just tell them the truth.
That waiver was terrifying this morning, man. I came in for just a good old time, and then they gave me a paper that lists everything that I could not have imagined would go wrong. Your bones are just gonna fall apart.
Yeah,
You're gonna die of bonitis.
solidly
It's gonna
though.
hurt.
Solidly though, that piece of paper is more to prevent you from suing than to actually keep them safe, because I can write all day long that I am not culpable for this death that I am about to cause, but it doesn't make me not culpable for the death that I'm about to cause. It just means that I'm claiming that I'm not.
Yeah. No, like solidly, if I die getting my wisdom teeth removed, you done fucked up.
No, like you probably could have sued for malpractice if you lost your feeling in your tongue.
No, well, here's the thing, and again, to her credit, I lied my ass off.
Yeah.
She tried. Also, it usually goes away within 2 to 5 years. So the nerve swelling goes down and everything's okay. I just happen to have the worst case scenario, and it's not that bad. Only occasionally it tastes like I have a battery on the left side of my tongue.
Did you have fun with the nitrous oxide, Hope?
I don't know what that is.
Laughing
She went to. Did you go to sleep?
Give me laughing gas.
Oh.
They put
Did you go to
something
sleep?
in my IV, and they were like, this is just to get you a little drowsy, get you a little sleepy. And I sat there for like 20 seconds, like, it's not working. Oh my God, I'm not going to go to sleep. And I was like, am I going to go to sleep? And he's like, probably. And then, so I was freaking out. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm a little drowsy. And that's my last memory.
So that's what I did. Yeah, the IV.
I think they especially choose to put you under if you have impacted teeth, because they were immediately like, nope, you're going under, because all of mine were like sideways.
I've never been under for anything that any tooth thing ever.
All right, we get back to D&D.
Yeah, let's go back to D&D.
This has been a great episode of everyone's fucking teeth. Tune in next week when we talk about it.
My shiny teeth and me.
All right, so you all make your way back down. The halfling is doing what she's doing. The dwarf is like they're all kind of at work. The two tables are kind of talking amongst themselves. One is being loud and boisterous and laughing. The other's a little bit quieter, not really, laughing or anything. They're just chatting quietly.
The dwarf, you said the not dwarf. Was it
Halfling?
No, the dark. Who was the leader?
The Duragar. He is a dwarf.
Duragar.
Yeah, he is a dark-skinned. He is a black-skinned dwarf with white hair.
And you said he has scar tissue, like no eyes.
Yes, he has scar tissue and no eyes.
But it did seem like he could see at least.
Yeah, he reacted. He never once moved his face in your direction, but he reacted as though he could see what was going on.
As everyone else comes downstairs, especially if Tail sees this, she would see TikTok is like very close, like leaning up towards the counter, like getting closer and closer, high, like head sideways, one big eye looking at his face.
He doesn't back up, but says, "Can I help you?"
TikTok, behave yourself. I say as I walk
closer.
I don't say anything more. Just
can I help you?
In a kind of like a child's voice, he'll just say, "Hide and seek, mommy, hide and seek." Getting at, how can you see me?
I've got my and he doesn't even need Tail to respond. He says, "I've got my secrets."
At that point, I arrive at the bar and I just stand next to TikTok smiling.
Yeah, his feathers will like ruffle. He enjoys this mystery. And I'll just back off a bit and sit down. Is there bar stools at this bar?
Oh yeah, there are. There's bar stools and there's a couple of tables couple of empty tables around.
He'll sit in a bar stool directly in front of him, whatever he's cleaning. Just staring. Also, detect magic if I can.
So are you going to spend a spell slot or are you going to cast it as a ritual?
I don't need material components for the ritual, though.
You don't need it either way. This is an innate thing you get as an artificer, even if the stat block says you don't.
He'll sit there. Well, yeah, the stat block did say it, I think. But anyway, yeah, he would sit there and do it as a ritual as he's just kind of like sitting there quietly doing his thing.
So the only thing, so as you cast it, he kind of smirks a little bit, and as you cast it, the things you see in the room that are magical are the circlet around his forehead, And there are two of the people in the louder group. They're both dwarves. One's a male, one's a female. The male has a bow, a longbow that seems to be made out of pure crystal, and it is glowing with evocation magic. And the female dwarf has what appears to be extremely rusty, a rusty longsword that looks like garbage, and it is also glowing with evocation magic. The circlet around Beeflin's head has divination magic attached to it, which is seeing things you shouldn't be able to see and knowing things you shouldn't be able to know. Satisfy your curiosity?
Yeah, TikTok's version of smiling, because, you know, he can't. Is like opening his beak slightly to mimic a person's mouth getting bigger.
What's that?
And he'll just like shake his
Like bad joke eel.
You can't smile as a bird. Slightly, I said. Like when your dog opens its mouth to pant, and you're like, oh, he's smiling. It's like, no, that's how... No, never mind. TikTok dies!
Moss will make his way to the bar. What's on the menu?
I've got some veal. What are you looking for? I see you. Do you mind meat or no?
Meat's fine.
All right. We've got some veal, some steak. We've got pork. We've actually got eel. I know that one's fun. People tend to like that one.
Could I get some blue rare steak?
That doesn't seem a problem. That'll be 2 silver.
I'll put a gold on the counter for the drinks and stuff.
Oh, aye. All right. He will then call back. He will say, Vargmarsh, blue rare steak.
About this time, my character comes back.
I'll ask for the eel, and then, after, he calls out for it or whatever, I was gonna say to him, so I've met the dwarves of Nardoon on, Dawn's side. Do you mind if I ask where you're from?
Oh, that's not a problem at all.
TikTok, as Tail's sitting next to him, TikTok will elbow her and tap his forehead where the circlet is on the dwarf, and just look entertained.
I ruffle his feathers a little, just enjoying it.
One moment.
Yar.
Darn matey. I think the doggo knows you're not feeling well, Hope.
No, he usually leaves the room if I'm sick.
Arse.
But I think this time he's here to just be sure you know.
Like, he doesn't like loud noises, so coughing, he's like, ugh, no.
He's an ass. He will answer Tail. I'm originally out of Famura, though I haven't been back there in quite a while, which is one of the bigger dwarven cities down on Duskside.
Oh, well, pleasure to meet you.
And you as well. What's your name?
Tail. I'm with the Bard's College.
A bard. I used to travel with one of them.
Oh, well, I'd love to hear any tales you feel free to offer.
I always love talking about my adventuring days. And he'll share, stories of fighting. He seems to have been a fighter, though he does have some magical capability as well. And he shares stories of fighting things that, dragons and beholders and things that are, perhaps a little bit above your pay grade at this point.
Yeah, I'll jokingly banter with him and say, I'm just kind of getting started out, finish, my schooling with the college. Now I'm out on my own. I'll also ask him for any good places to seek out on Duskside other than Demoria, because that's the main place I've only ever been.
Seek out, just like you say, seek out, or seek out for what?
This is just kind of downtime conversation. I would just be asking him, what's neat?
I mean, there's nothing really particularly interesting around here. Arn is the closest city is up a little bit north of here. They seem to have been having some trouble with undead, I guess. Though I'm not sure how serious that is. How tales are stories spreads and run wild. Always was a little bit interested in Tirtinu and their observatory, but I don't. That's a little bit above what I'm capable of.
Oh, absolutely.
Just kind of the normal city thing. And of course, Seer Dust. That's where you said you guys were coming from?
Yes.
More or less.
So what brings you all around here?
Just exploring.
That's fair.
And that's when my character comes down.
Yeah. So the people
Folks
who
will
have
come
ordered
here.
food will slowly. The half elf will come in and here you go. And she'll kind of mutter a little bit and disappear back off into the back. And
Thank you.
yeah, she does not really wait for thanks. She seems a little flustered.
How big is this steak?
Oh, 8 ounce.
All right, Moss will cut it in half and then just two gulps.
Gross and impressive.
That's what Elf walks down to.
And so you're all at the bar?
Sure, yeah,
right.
we can come downstairs.
Alright.
Yeah,
and
get some
in
food
the
and
bar,
drink.
I guess now.
As you do this, Moss, a couple of your bugs will skitter from out of your moss and kind of lick up, I guess, the juice that's still left on the plate.
I'll quickly grab them and no.
What is that?
I was gonna say, can I try to do that before anybody sees this?
Yeah, that's a dexterity sleight of the hand versus anyone who is interested. Wisdom perception. Hey,
It would be against their passives then.
yeah, I guess that's fair. So as if you rolled a 10 on a wisdom perception.
15.
It's a 12 for me.
What does that mean? As if you rolled a.
So a passive is
Passive
you're
is
not
12.
actively doing the thing, and so passive wisdom perception is as though you rolled the dice and got a 10. So it's 10 plus wisdom plus perception, and it's the same with passive stealth. It's as though you rolled a 10 on a dexterity stealth.
That would be an 18.
Yeah. He kind of jumps a little bit, and you're not sure what he's jumping at, but
The bartender?
no. You you kind of you make a quick movement, but no one really knows what exactly it was. Specifically, Cove. Feline, are you eating at this point?
Yeah, she would have picked something and
Yeah.
started eating basically.
Yeah, cool.
And drinking a beer.
Yeah,
Cool,
I would
cool.
have gone for the eel.
So gross. Why?
She's fish people.
One of the
Eels are
most.
delicious.
She's water people. She likes fish.
I like
this
fish, too.
Jellied eel.
It's not. If it's jellied eel, she fucking.
Oh,
won't
it's not.
touch it.
The food is fairly well cooked. It wasn't. The materials weren't quite as nice as the food you had last night.
Yeah, TikTok would have asked for some sort of soup.
So
Yeah.
Goph would
yeah.
be interested to see how he eats it.
I was just gonna say I want to watch the bird eat soup now.
Yes, yeah,
He
no,
pokes-
Feline is straight up
So he will like poke at and spear, like grab pieces of meat on the tip of his beak, tip his head back, and throw it back. And then for the soup itself, like kind of like ladle with his bottom part of his beak, and just throw it back and swallow it.
Wait, with the bottom, doesn't it curve down?
Not on a curve.
Beaks don't curve down.
The top does a bit.
Like,
My bottom part of my beak
oh,
curves
no,
up.
sorry. I'm thinking of the top part, so like I don't know. I just assumed the whole thing.
Yeah, the bottom of
It's
my
like a
beak
big old ladle.
is like a spoon, and he uses
Yeah.
it and actually just throws it back. No hands involved in him eating, though.
Is it messy?
No, he's quite neat about it and measured.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Says the guy who just gulped down too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know that you're in a position to talk or to judge, Moss.
God damn it, Red.
God damn it! No!
God damn it.
I'm glad everybody else saw that too.
There's a rail and a deed over there.
All right. So, are you anything else you guys are going to plan to do tonight, or?
Did Tail already ask the bartender about like news and stuff in the area?
I got the direction of like a small village and a larger city.
Alright.
Yeah.
So towards the bartender, any news we should know about from this area?
It's like I told your friend here. There's Arn. A couple of people have claimed that Arn's having a little bit of a problem with undead. Can't really swear to the truth of that, as I never can. But you know,
Any
Are we-
bandits?
Are we talking one or two, or a graveyard uprising?
as far as I can tell, the occasional person's going and disappearing at night, and people have seen what appear to be zombies. You know, skeletons, the little things.
Hmm.
The little things.
Just a couple zombies here and there. Just a couple walking skeletons. Not a whole skeleton army.
You know, just the living undead.
Does the group with the two dwarves? I think you said it's the louder group.
So yeah, yes. The group.
Do they seem friendly, loud, or like
Yeah, they are.
rambunctious or angry?
No, they seem to be having a grand old time of it.
As everyone's talking to the bartender, TikTok would definitely wander over there and be sort of like weirdly looking at that sword on the person's back, but keeping it respectful, like not. Basically, doesn't look like I'm trying to like pickpocket them or anything.
So in the meantime, Cove also is going to be sort of expecting the moss on moss.
Can I help you?
Is that hurt?
Kind of how my tribe was just, born this way. Some had more fungus and harder outgrowths. I just happened to be born with some of the greener plants.
So is any of it fungus? Is it not safe for someone else to touch?
None of it's toxic. You would probably also see the occasional black bug skittering.
Oh my god, no. If she sees a bug on, like, the conversation will go from like, oh, I'm interested in to, oh, well that's okay, well that's very interesting. Okay. And she'll just
Just leaves. Elric is going to find himself near. There's a fireplace, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll find himself near that. That's usually kind of where he goes.
All right.
He'll do some reading or some drawing.
All right. So you go. You find your. You go sit near the fireplace. It's nice and hot. It's got some comfy chairs.
And he will be watching TikTok on how awkwardly he just keeps getting closer.
Well, yeah. So TikTok wanders over towards the louder group, and the people in this group are a human female She's a little bit quiet, reading. She's not really interacting with the rest of the group as much. There's a male dwarf in leather armor. It's lightweight. It doesn't seem to be particularly out of the ordinary as far as leather armor goes. He's got his fancy crystal bow, though. There's the fighter, big plate armor, sword and board, shield, sword, female. And then lastly, there is a female halfling that she's wearing common clothes, has a bunch of papers out, just kind of poring over them, and then she'll stop for a second and she'll interact with the rest of the group and then go back. She also seems to be glowing ever so slightly, and there's a staff leaning against the table by her side.
Which one was it with the rusty glowing
That is
sword?
the female, and it's only glowing because of her detect magic.
Well, no, I know, yeah.
Yeah,
But was it the human?
it was the female dwarf.
Yeah, the female
in the plate armor.
I will be closer to her than everyone, but he won't say anything, but he's definitely like bobbing his head looking. So if any of them have half an eye open, they'd see him.
Yeah. No. So they're being loud, rambunctious, and at one point, as you approach, the dwarf clad in leather kind of glances over at you and catches the other dwarf's eye. These are and points. She turns around and says, Can I help you? These are, by the way, all Dawnsiders. Their skin tone is much more consistent with Dawnside skin. Can I help you?
I'll tilt his head a bit, and then in like kind of a more gruff voice, but nice sword.
Thank you. She seems a little confused, like, why are you here so close, just staring at my sword?
Can I see?
No, it's mine.
He'll like step back, like not trying to be rude about it, and like look over to Tail for help.
I sigh, dropping my fork on my unfinished plate, and start walking over to the table. And I put my arm around TikTok. Sorry, he is anyway, he's just very interested in your weapon there. Would you mind just telling us about it?
She gives a bit of a confused, slightly concerned look.
He makes objects himself, always looking out for new techniques and artistic styles.
So you're an artificer then?
Yes.
His eyes will go really big if she uses that exact word.
Yeah, it's not it's hard to find them, but lots of people kind of know what they are because, there are a lot of miniature common magic items that run around, like the spoon of cold.
Oh, yeah. No, but he's always amused when anyone knows. It's an ego boost. Like,
okay. So
He's
yeah,
also
not
almost like they know.
He's also from Dawnside, so sometimes weapons here are a little different than what we're used to.
Oh, this is from Dawnside. It's a sword of decay. It when it hits it hurts more. It tends to cause rot and ruin when it hits. Just a nice, solid magic sword. It's nothing fancy. It's not like an artifact or anything.
He still kind of peeks, is trying to look around her body at the sword a little bit, and just whistles in a nice kind of way.
She will sigh. Alright, fine. And she'll pull it out and hand it to you, holding the blade.
Yeah, he'll hold it like gently, like clearly out in front of him. I'm not gonna run off with your stuff, and just examine it for a little bit beforehand.
Yeah, at first glance it looks like something you would find at the bottom of a shipwreck, but you know what you're looking for, and you catch slight glimmers of a rune under a flake of rust, or specific etchings that are required to bind magic to metal. Like you start to catch them, and as you look, it's nice work.
He'll just keep like that like just like nice, and he'll be careful not to flake off any of the rust though. Like not to brush any of it away or anything like that, to leave it in its original, but he will angle it around, look at it a few different ways, and then offer it back.
Yeah. When you whistle, she'll kind of get in. Thanks. It's been with me for a lot.
He'll kind of look at Tail like, you're the conversating one. Do the talking now. I did the awkward thing.
So the rest of the group, the other dwarf is kind of just watching with interest. He's got a little bit of a smirk on his face. The halfling
Is
seems
the dwarf with the crystal bow?
No. So there are 3 dwarves in this tavern right now. There's the one that has the circlet. Oh yes, the crystal bow. Yes, I apologize. Yes,
It is the one with the crystal bow. If when I catch him like looking at me and like smirking, I'll tap wherever the crystal bow is on them, and I'll wink back at them.
You want to?
Sort of like a yes, if you're okay with it.
Yeah, he actually has no problem with it. Like he grins widely and hands it over. And as you hold it, it is as cold as ice. But like not to the point where it's going to cause burning, but it feels like it should cause injury.
Like maybe if you shot an arrow out of it, it would hurt.
Yeah. No, but like it feels like you're holding ice, except that it isn't going to cause the flesh burns that holding a piece of ice actually would cause.
Yeah. I'll examine that while I wait for Tail to butter them up and ask them the common questions. Where are you from? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Do the speaking.
I'm gonna like downtime some like nice banter, but the key thing I would ask them and like earlier on would be so what are you here in the area for? Are you hunters, or I mean with these weapons it'd be very useful.
Oh, aye. We're headed down to the Sea of Dust. There's rumors of a bullet down there that we're trying to kill and skin.
Of a what?
Okay, so a bullet. It's oh shit, what is it? It's like a big armored land shark that like swims under the sand.
Wow, that is quite interesting. Have you hunted one before?
Not once. The human woman that's reading a book will, at this conversation, kind of close her book and listen in a little. Oh, he just hired in on a job, you know?
While they're talking, I'll hand back the bow and see if I can catch the attention of the girl who was reading with the staff.
She'll kind of glance up at you every once in a while, but like doesn't seem to be particularly invested. Whatever she's doing is it's really caught her attention.
That's fine. I'll just watch her.
I'm gonna grab my hurdy-gurdy, which I set by the bar, then grab a chair from the other table, set it, like spin it around so like I'm facing them but not joining them, so I'm not like being obtrusive.
Yeah.
But I'll start just casually playing something, nothing too serious, just a little bit. But I will roll to maybe be especially charismatic with it.
Yeah, go ahead. Charisma performance.
17.
Yeah, this, now that you're not in the middle and you've had a day to kind of fine-tune the tuning pegs, it sounds a lot better than it did yesterday.
Yay. So I'm gonna continue asking them some simple questions about what they
They
hunted
will-
for.
They'll tell again. These seem like they're fairly impressive group of people. They are hunting this bullet. It is black and blue skinned instead of the standard like gray. And they've heard stories that it's a kind of a white whale sort of situation, and some wealthy patron has hired them to bring this one. They point over to the human to skin it and tan it so that they can bring it back to a proper leather artisan to do what it is they're going to do.
What does that sort of thing fetch, if you don't mind my asking?
The human will speak up and say, well, usually bullet hide is really hard to skin and tan. It goes bad really fast. But when it works properly, it's really easy to work with. So bullet hide is a really, it's a widely sought after type of leather. So, in the thousands of gold. But this one, if such a creature exists, which I personally have my doubts, but a paycheck is a paycheck. It might be priceless. We don't really know. We've never heard about any bullet with this type of skin tone before.
Would it just be the skin tone, or do you believe it has something special about it?
There's the stories are few and far between. It's just for the skin color is what's unique. It's that's why it would fetch such a price, probably, unless we find out that it does have unique properties, and then who knows.
Very interesting.
So, Cove will have wandered over to Elric by the fire, I think is where he said he was setting up shop.
Yeah.
So, do you think there are undead in, what was it, the next town over that the barkeep said, God?
Arn.
Yes,
What was
Arn.
that?
Arn
Arn.
is the name of the town. Arn.
Thank you.
A-R-N.
Thank you. Yeah, over in Arn?
Well, quite possibly.
Have you ever seen something like that before?
GM, have I ever seen something like that before?
Like undead?
I guess.
If you haven't personally seen them, you've definitely heard stories. They're not the most uncommon. Necromancers tend to be sometimes problematic because while necromancy itself is not specifically problematic, it is the most abusable sub-school of wizardry. So people tend to have issues with it, less on the dark side, or less on dusk side.
Personally, my experiences with them have been very limited, but from
You probably interacted with some necromancers while you were doing your initial training.
Yeah. But from what I can tell, it's usually seen with a negative, at least the necromancers, that is.
So they really are raised from the dead? The end
Yes.
of well, I don't exactly know the process there. So it's necromancy?
Typically,
Yeah.
it could be other things, but yeah, necromancy is usually the most typical that we hear about. Sometimes in a more controlled and, dare I say it, friendly manner, but typically speaking, if anyone is speaking of rumors of undead, it's probably not in that way.
All right. I've never seen one in person, just heard. If this little mishmash sticks together, do you think we would have a chance of taking care of that kind of problem?
Undead. Yeah, depending how big the incursion is and what is controlling it. Necromancer is just human like us, but if it's like a lich that's doing that, well, that's a different story. It's not typically the undead that you need to scare of, unless there's many, many of them, but like anything in this world, if there's many goblins, you'd want to be scared of that as well.
They're not contagious, are they? I mean, I'm sure they could kill you, but I mean by touch or whatever.
Goblins have a problem is that they breed too much.
I meant the undead.
I thought the same thing.
Oh, the undead? Not that I'm aware of, unless we're on, it's not unconsecrated. It's, I guess it's unconsecrated.
Desecrated.
Unconsecrated ground. Desecrated, thank you.
To your knowledge, to your limited knowledge with necromancy, it's usually you put energy into a corpse and it rises. Like,
Right.
sometimes it's magic items, but generally it's energy goes into a corpse, the corpse starts moving. It's not
Right.
it's
If it
not
was
a disease.
desecrated
It's not
ground that was constantly causing energy, then maybe, but that's about
yeah.
as far as-
Thanks for the pantomime, Gabe. Moss. Blood lichen. Gabe lichen.
Typically,
Lizard.
it has to be very intentional to be raised, not spreading. It's not like vampirism. Is vampirism a thing? Do we allow?
Yeah, vampires are a thing.
Cool.
Thaleen will kind of wander over to where Elric and Cove are, like clearly having been just fascinated. She's basically been busying herself with being fascinated with little things like metal forks. Because why would you waste metal in a freaking fork like that? And she just kind of is like, is it okay? I am interrupting.
You're fine.
Okay.
You're welcome to join.
Dominic will actually
It's an
follow
open
you.
fire.
Dominic will
Alright.
actually what?
Yeah, Dominic is going to follow Thaleen, and
I'm going to as well.
okay. So wow, big old crew's heading over that way.
But typically, undead is usually a stereotypically new adventuring kind of deal.
So yeah, she'll turn to the others as they kind of settle. We were discussing the viability of us as a sort of cobbled together group going and taking care of this undead problem. Perhaps for some kind of reward if they have it.
I think it's a good idea. I like
Yeah.
We will probably need money to get to the other side.
Oh, that would be
Yes.
cool.
Ah.
I would killing zombies.
And
Wait, were
Well,
the
kill the
zombies on
zombies.
dusk side or
I've
dawn
never
side?
killed zombies.
Hey, me either!
it was dusk side, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you are all on dusk side, and
was
Arn is
like-
also dusk side.
It was like
Moss.
a town or city
Go ahead.
kind of
Hold
vibe.
up. Go ahead.
Wait, this would
All of
Yeah, go ahead.
the question I was going to ask would be overshadowed by this zombie thing. So
Hold up.
never
Go
mind.
back.
we are on dusk side.
Correct.
The zombie problem is on dawn side.
No, it is not. It is 2 days down the
Okay.
road.
So the zombie. Okay, so we don't have to travel anywhere.
No, it's just
right
it's
here.
it's a 2 day walk down the road. Like it's the next town over.
Okay. Sorry. Either
Yeah,
my brain
not a
got
problem.
scrambled, which is possible.
Yeah,
I
not a problem.
just got
It's
myself-
the next town
Or a
over.
brain.
In order to get to the next big city that has a dock, you would have to pass through Arn.
So, but biggest thing would probably be finding a temple for that girl.
Yes, they would probably be willing to take care of her.
Besides, I don't think everyone that we're traveling with would want to
He's
go
probably
zombie
best.
hunting.
We find town. You have healers in town, yeah? Just leave her with healer. We cannot do better.
That's what I mean.
Yes, I am agreeing with you.
Well, I'm agreeing with you.
Good.
She will kind of turn for a moment to Moss to kind of, I don't know, smile at Thaleen and, like these fucking guys, you know what I mean? But she'll kind of turn to Moss for a second to try and.
It's like, are we arguing?
express
Are we
that.
arguing? No, we're agreeing. We're agreeing. Okay.
However,
Half of
like,
what Thaleen says is really just like really vehement agreement with you. So it sounds like she's fighting and she's not.
so she'll turn to, kind of these fucking guys. The expression won't super last long, however, if she sees another insect on him. Hey!
Tail,
Moss will.
might you notice this gathering of our party before venturing forth?
Alec,
No.
you are elf on surfers here. I don't. What is word?
That was good.
Not
I enjoyed it.
Not Fey world elf. But can you tell me? I want to know about other elves from here.
From Dawn.
The prime material plane is what she's asking.
Not Fey, not Feyroda.
She's from the Feywilds.
The prime material
Know
plane
about
is the word
elves
she's
that
looking
aren't
for.
from the Feywilds.
Well, we're very much known for our sailing and sometimes aggressive expansion.
I know stories, but I have not seen or heard others. It would be good to hear story.
Stories. And he just looks over at Tail for a second, then.
Oh, you. What is like your story? Yours.
Oh, mine. I don't. Well, let's see. Like I said, my parents, they were merchants, farmers. No, farmers. Merchants. Middle class.
What does that mean?
Question, did you just correct yourself, or are you out of character saying I wouldn't have said merchants, farmers?
I corrected myself, sorry.
Okay, no, I just wanted to know if that was in
If it was in or out of
character,
character.
going,
I
merchants,
kept my voice, but that was out of
no
character.
merchants.
That was out of character.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Middle class. It's
Middle
merchants.
class.
So very much into the trading between groups. Specialized a lot in travel. I've gone from dusk, dawn, all over the place. But with most things, the eldest of the elves get the rights of land or rights of ownership. I was not one of the eldest, so I have to make do with my own. A little bit of gold, and got myself into an academy. A little bit of teaching, a little bit of falling in love, and just kind of going into the classes with.
You love somebody?
I did.
I'm sorry. It's not
It was a long time ago. But
you don't have to tell.
she really wanted to be, blade singer. And I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing,
So I may as well just join in.
and I just kind of enjoyed it.
Slightly retrospectively, Tail I did wander over, and I heard them all talking, and did catch the zombie bit when he said I don't know. I was gonna nod happily and just nod at TikTok and continue nodding.
But after that, well, a wizard is as very valuable town to town. Not every small little backwater has any kind of magic user. So it's really easy to make a couple coin. Other than that, I like to draw and learn, but haven't really gone into any big missions or anything. So that's.
But you travel, yes? You've been lots of places.
Lots of places, yes. Got me kind of on a spot here.
Let's see. Let's narrow down. What is best place you had drink?
Best place. Best place. I'll counter that. The most unusual brew I've ever had was from dwarven mushrooms. That was weird.
Mushroom.
Mushroom beer.
In the background, as you guys are like getting engrossed in your conversation, after Tail comes over, you'll hear Tail's Hurdy-Gurdy loudly at the other table playing.
I'm gonna turn around, not even like with a surprise, just like, what are you doing?
I am trying to entertain this group with Hurdy-Gurdy playing.
From your mouth.
This actually surprises everybody at the table.
Yeah, like as it got awkward when Tail walked away and I was looking at like people's magical stuff, it was like, oh, and he started hurdy-gurdying. Which I believe I get like, I mean, if you want, I can roll for it.
I'm not too concerned about it.
I was gonna say, I think I get like quadruple advantage.
Yeah.
On
Well, yeah,
copycatting.
I'll look at that. Yeah, I'll look at that.
Or no, it's other
But again-
people have disadvantage for distinguishing me from the real thing.
Yeah, no, I'll look at it. Bird box.
It is a bird box, and it's the best bird box.
So I think with that, with TikTok playing music for a table of bewildered adventurers, and everyone else kind of discussing their pasts and possibly the idea of getting together and solving an undead problem. I think that's a good place to end tonight's session.
Sounds good to me. All right, taking the reins back. Thank you to everybody who came out and watched us live. Thank you to everybody who watches us on YouTube. We really appreciate you always coming out or watching the videos later, your comments, hanging out in the chat, everything along those lines. Our links for Twitter, Discord, YouTube, or Twitch, depending on which site you're on, are down below in the description or on the Twitch page, so check those out. Please join us on the Discord. We would love to hang out and talk with you. We talk about these games, other tabletop games, and really basically everything else under the sun. It's a good community, and you're absolutely welcome. Follow the Twitter. I generally make all my announcements there about game scheduling, things like that, as well as the Discord. So anytime we're going to miss a game or starting a new one, you'll be able to find out about it there. I think that's about everything, so thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Monday will be episode 2 of Revolver C's vampire game. Very awesome, super fun last session. And then Tuesday we'll be back to New Orleans. So, bye!
Bye, bye, bub.